And we are in, I think. Yes, we are in. Excellent.
Hello.
Hi, new system. Who dis? Hi, hello everybody. It is Sunday. It is Some Other Heroes Day. It's super hot today. So, in advance, if the four of us are not on our A game, we're all a little sweaty and a bit sticky because Britain is going through a heat wave right now, and it's not set up for it, which is our one weakness. Hi, we're Some Other Heroes. We are queer dungeoneers, geeky gays, and wonderful, wonderful alternative people and creatives in the D&D space. We love sharing our stories and our space with you. I'm going to say my name first. I am Chris. I use the he, him pronouns. I am your resident dungeon master most of the time. A all-round geek on the internet, a bit of a storyteller, and an illustrator as well. With me are three wonderful people, all of whom will introduce themselves, starting with Charlie. Charlie.
This one.
This Charlie, yeah, this Charlie.
I
You're
am
all Charlie now,
Charlie.
by default.
Funnily enough, plot twist, I am Charlie. I am also illustrator, also big queer nerd. Use she, her pronouns, also writer, and also Irish. So this weather, disgrace. Can't with this. Any part of this.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, my dad had the DNA test, and most of my DNA comes from northern Celt or basically Norwegian. So I'm really not good for this either. So it's fun, but it's not what we're looking for.
It's not fun though.
No.
The summer can get it. It can go.
Yeah. Theo, would you like to go next?
Hello, that's me. I'm Theo. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm also an illustrator. I'm also kind of done with summer. Roll on autumn. And
your aesthetic looks like you're enjoying it more than
I know. Seriously.
Me and Chris have matching outfits on of sad goth in the summer.
Hey, I can be colourful and a vampire.
That's true. That's very true.
I am playing resident awkward nerd Eugene.
And we love Eugene.
Nothing like me.
Nothing like you. No.
It's a real task to get into character.
Very method.
Yeah, absolutely. Theo spends absolutely hours before each game just trying to get into the headspace of, what is Eugene?
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch them do it.
I have to say, though, your shirt game is strong today.
Glorious.
I do love
It's
some Care Bears.
Trans
Bear,
masculine
Lisa
wardrobe.
Frank
If you
realness.
haven't got like 50 button-down shirts, I usually
Are you even
agree.
trying? Speaking of fashion icons for the ages, Wayne.
What? Those things don't go together. Hi, everyone. I'm Charlie. No, wait, I'm not Charlie. I'm Wayne. I'm an art director and a designer. I'm not an illustrator, but they let me play anyway. My pronouns are he, him, and I shall be playing the calm and gentle Dragonborn Rock.
I mean, he is kind of gentle, and he most of the time is fairly calm. It's not accurate.
Oh yeah, I totally didn't say who I was playing. Oh yeah, I'm Aisling.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot that bit.
And I'm everybody else.
Yeah.
As Luke quite rightly puts in the chat, make sure that you are drinking lots of water if you are in the UK or elsewhere. It is always really good to do so. Keep yourself hydrated, particularly at the moment. Please do not faint on our account. We love you all. And we also want to say a big shout out to Mates of Fate, who, despite the fact it is the other side of their day, have got up for have joined us, which is so lovely of them. You should check them out. sometime if you can. They are really, really lovely people. They are allies and queer people, also creating Dungeons and Dragons and other TTRPG, and they are running through the epic and well-loved Mines of Fandelver and raising money for Terrence. Shoot, off the top of my head.
Trevor Project, I believe.
Project.
Aww.
At the same time, so if you can, it's on the opposite side of our time zone, unfortunately, so we can't really drop it. We always shout them out.
Yeah, bloody hell, guys! What time is it with you right now? That's nuts.
But hey, YouTube and replays, and their Twitch channel is in the chat at the moment, so please give them a follow.
Give them a like, give them a follow. Just check out what they're doing as well. They're lovely. The rest of our friends we're going to shout out at the end because we got, as always, we've got announcements, but we'll save that to wrap up with, because I'd like to get into the game, and I'm sure this lot are looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, be right.
Yeah, be right. So, last we left our three friends, they had travelled across the main island of Clouds Cairn towards the cairn itself, engaging in proper outdoors travel for the first time since they came together as well, which is
we did watches and everything. It was like real Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
How did we get to episode
rolled
25
things.
before that happened? With successful watches, some interesting spooky goings-ons in the wood, and then arriving and being attacked by a strange rock-like creature called an Azul, which has been giving the island grief ever since these three came together, although they haven't particularly faced it themselves until this point.
Which
So
is
that was
lucky,
the-
because if we faced that at level 2, we'd have had a bad time.
You've had a very bad time, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't have a great time anyway.
I know.
Exactly.
The rock-like creature, or as I like to call it, the bastard lightning killer.
Accurate. They eventually made their way to the Fey Enclave, the not quite what everybody was expecting. Built into an ancient pillar city, town, a new town built by Fey and Mortalkin alike to house the Fey of Clouds Cairn and allow them somewhere where they can be themselves without having to be completely watched all the time by the often mistrustful eyes of mortal kind. Arriving in the town, they were beset upon by an absolute kaleidoscope of colour and experiences and just general Fey craziness. They were guided to the main town centre and a big red brick pillar, which they climbed via a staircase and found themselves in a place that didn't quite match the outside. The main hall, a very spring-themed meeting hall, where their, say, friend, someone they've met a few times now, Aunty Needles, awaited them, offering them a proper cup of tea for the first time. So, as we start the game, we find the three of you sort of standing in this hallway. And just kind of, as I said, this space doesn't quite match the outside space that you came into. Definite weird. It's bigger on the inside, basically.
Love it.
And Aunty Needles kind of just is sitting in her rocking chair, knitting, just smiling at the three of you standing in the doorway. As you kind of turn, you sort of see Milksop just pulling the doors close behind her. I will be outside if you need anything.
Bye.
Well, don't stand there. Come a little closer. And she kind of puts the knitting down in her lap, and she just picks up a little tiny silver bell and jingles it a couple of times. And then three chairs just kind of bob in, comfortable looking chairs just kind of bob into the center, kind of land, and then kind of sort of looking a little out of place. One of them just sort of steps ever so slightly sideways and just settles.
I love it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna gleefully trot over to the chairs and sit down on one.
One of them is definitely designed with a satyr and your digitigrade legs in mind.
That's the one.
Rock's
so
going to
naughty.
Rock's going to kind of awkwardly follow, and then kind of sort of look at the chair and kind of look back at Aisling and kind of go, do I
sit on it? I don't have to. Right, I know we're a bit weird. I don't have to explain chairs to you, do I?
Well, most chairs don't walk in on their own either. I mean, do I have to greet it first? Is there a protocol? Should I shake hands? I don't know.
Yes. You have to answer 4.5 riddles and bring it a dowry, and then you can sit on it.
What?
Sit on the chair, Rock.
And Rock's going to very gingerly sit as if he's sort of terrified of hurting it. It's a bit like...
You guys can make a nature check as you approach if you want to.
No.
Oh, no, I'm already sitting down. I won't bother.
I don't
make
want to make
a nature
a
check
nature
if you
check.
want to. Okay, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You're not obliged. Every time I say you can roll this, you do not have to.
Oh, nice. If we have to roll,
No,
to be
17.
hit, can we say no?
No, because I rolled to hit you. So, so what was that? 17.
17.
Yeah, you're not entirely certain, Eugene, but you think that these might be tame mimics.
Aww.
Interesting.
I got a 15. Do I get the same sort of vibes?
You get the same sort of vibes, and it's not unheard of. Mimics come in all sorts of varieties in the world. They're an artificially created creature, or people as a monstrosity. They were created by someone and let loose into the world. So, like a lot of creatures, some beings have kind of just been able to wrap them into their lives and just kind of tame them down a bit. And some mimics, you probably know from stories, both of you, can be quite intelligent, good companions. Plus the shape-shifting thing, really useful if you have the right one with you.
Sorry, I'm very enjoying chat right now. Yes, Vicky, we are cosplaying Fast and Furious apart from Theo.
What do you mean?
I didn't get the memo, apparently.
You're just going to be in the next one.
Yeah.
It's like somebody switched the channel when it got to Theo, and we went to Cartoon Network rather.
At this point, with the cycling with the cycling cast on those, one of us is bound to be in one of them at some point anyway. So.
Yeah. And Rooney, yeah, I'm totally just rejecting death saving throws from now on.
Yeah, Chris just said we can choose to roll or not.
I'm
That's
good.
fine.
Checks. I meant checks. So, you all settle down. Rock looking slightly dubious at his chair. Aunty Needles doesn't say anything. She just smiles. She knows that you're sort of safe, and I think she's slightly enjoying the awkwardness. And she rings the bell, but a different way this time, and it makes a slightly deeper sound. And then after a few moments, a tall, very grey-looking elf in a very tight-fitting doublet with of similar colours to the Lotus Guard, actually, comes in and brings in a tray and a small folding table. On the tray is a pot of tea and a pot and four cups, which he deposits in between the lot of you. Bows deeply to each of you, even deeper to Aunty Needles, and then quietly walks away.
Thanks.
So, it took you a little bit longer to get here than I hoped, but and she's directly...
Oh, there was a whole thing.
So yes, how was your journey? Did you have fun?
Oh, when we saw a ghost. Oh! And I must tell you about the hideous screaming of the foxes. It was I mean, just one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard. I really took me quite by surprise. But otherwise, it was good. I think. I mean, we made it. We're here.
Yeah, we made it eventually. We got a bit set upon by something less than ideal, and I learned I can't cook, so we made it.
That's all right. Not everybody has to be able to cook. I don't cook.
Yeah, exactly.
I pay for the services of others to do it.
Well, yeah, I can't do that one yet, but yeah, noted.
So, foxes. That must have been disturbing for you. Yes. Did they talk?
No. What? No. Wait, they took. No, they screamed. It was like a child being murdered. Aisling assures me this is perfectly normal, but it didn't sound normal to me at all. It sounded really horrific, to be honest.
It's just that we've lost some sentient foxes, you know, and they can be quite dangerous.
But to be honest, by the screams they were letting out, they're probably not around anymore, so I wouldn't worry too much. Sounded like they were being murdered, probably by each other. But anyway, otherwise we were fine. We did see a ghost. That was most entertaining.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
I hope you didn't get too close. Those things can be dangerous.
Nah, we left her alone.
So we heard afterwards, but no, she seemed to be intent on going her way.
Generally, out in the wilds, if you don't have to engage with the undead, you probably should just leave them be. Although there aren't many on Cloud's Cairn in general. It's not like Curse Hollow, where there's obviously history of those sorts of things.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Yeah, sounds really inviting, that Curse Hollow.
Yeah. Wayne, Rock would know Curse Hollow is part of the Empire. It's one of the parts of the third expansion. And is indeed a place that's heavy in undeads.
Nice.
It is a bit of a problem.
I reiterate, that sounds nice.
So, what type of tea would you like?
After you, friends.
Oh, I'm not really too fussy. Earl Grey tends to be my favourite, but I'm happy to have anything you suggest.
Eugene hears in his head, I don't think we're supposed to drink or eat anything from the Fey.
I reply in my head, but it's fine if they're offering it to us, right?
I mean, Aisling would know. This is hospitality. You're currently under her protection as opposed to just some random bloke trying to give you things on the streets.
But this is between their brains. I can't interject.
Aisling just literally just told us not to eat or drink anything from people.
Oh, yeah.
But I am now staring at Eugene. Saying,
It's Aunty
Pan's
Needles.
Labyrinth.
She's not gonna trick us, right? Her name's Auntie.
I don't know. Aisling said don't do it.
Well, I mean, her name's probably not Auntie.
While they're having this conversation, I'm running through different types of teas with Aunty Needles.
And she goes, I can do
ask.
that. I can do that. I can do that.
Okay, but what about if you mix that one and that one?
I can do that for you, yes.
Oh, yeah, sounds gross. Can I have that?
Okay, she taps the pot and pours out the licorice combined with nettle tea that you just asked for.
Ew!
When I said I wasn't fussy about what I want,
You said you wanted Earl Grey, yes?
Yeah, it's
She
just
taps
not
the pot
just
again
not
and pulls
whatever
out Earl Grey
Aisling's
for
I
you.
need this teapot in real life.
And for you, Master, is Young Rock?
Yes, Earl Grey would be fine. I shall also have.
She just pours it from the same spout.
Okay. Rock's going to just sit with his tea and not drink any of it until he sees Aisling and Eugene are drinking it.
Aisling drinks it, but one sip. That's it.
I think she picks up on your nervousness, actually, Rock, because her passive insight is quite high, and she just kind of smiles. She goes, "Oh, under the rules of hospitality, I offer you my tea freely. You may eat, drink, and partake of anything I offer you here without any sense of debt. You are my guest."
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm not terribly familiar with the customs, and Ashley was kind of yelling at us outside because we nearly drank some tea.
Who was yelling, sorry?
Well, Ashley yelled at us because we were going to drink that man's... But anyway, thank you. The tea's lovely.
It is very good tea. It's quite clearly has been made with using some sort of enchantment, so it's not as fresh as like that kind of off the leaf sort of thing, but it still tastes very good.
Mine doesn't.
Apart from yours, because you made a terrible life choice.
Classic Ashling.
It's so Ashley. You chat a little bit. She asks you a few questions about your adventures so far. She's particularly interested about the what you saw on the island before you fought the AL. Trying to just kind of it's stuff that you've kind of talked to people a lot about in these sort of circles, and she's not you can tell she's not prying. It's genuine interest. And again, if there's anything that you guys are uncomfortable or don't want to talk about, she doesn't push on it at all. It really does feel like you are at an aunt's or something like that. You just feel very warm and very safe. And probably for the first time since you sort of hit the road, aware that you know this is a good place to be. So, you are looking for a Chrythoric, aren't you?
Oh, yes, that's why we came. Yes, of course.
Excellent. Right, well, it's as always, these things are never quite as simple as they're supposed to be.
Oh, good. Right, cool.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Your big friend, the Goliath.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is about somewhere. At some point, he's probably going to want to have a chat with you. He's in charge of one of the mining guilds that we allow through our gates. He sent back a report recently saying that the Chrythoric have closed down several of the mine tunnels that they agreed to use with us.
Oh.
We're not entirely certain why, and they're not talking to us, so we're a little worried about it, to be fair.
Oh.
Yes, quite. In addition to that, we've sent in some people to kind of try and talk to them, and they've been turned away. The Chrythoric are very good at moving tunnels, as you might imagine, being masters of the earth as such. And several people have gone in and then come out the other side of the mountain without even knowing that they were heading that way.
Oh. Right.
No
I mean, that's a very good way of avoiding people. Just sort of steer them.
Yes, they do appear to not want to talk to us at the moment. However, you three may be a link into what we can do to get a dialogue opened again.
Because of our charm, right?
Well, charm, you're outsiders. Yes, and I can make an arrangement. There's somebody who's supposed to know something about it, but rumours only came up to me this morning, and I haven't exactly had a chance to go through everything. So, would you mind spending the night, allowing me to do some small investigation, and I can give you a firmer idea of what's going on tomorrow?
I am absolutely up for that. What are you two all right doing that?
Oh yes, as long as we don't have we're not outside with the screaming foxes. That sounds lovely.
Oh my god!
I mean, if it's not to your taste, there is a beautiful inn in here called the Lost Child. Fey humour. Which is actually, ironically, one of the safest places in town. There is an agreement with the owner that no Fey shenanigans are allowed within its. But you can stay here in my house. That's no problem.
Can we do Fey shenanigans here?
Well, there are Fey shenanigans here, but you are under my hospitality, which means any Fey that crosses you also crosses me at the moment.
Haha. All right, cool.
Oh, which reminds me. You must meet my wife.
You got a wife? I didn't know you were married.
Yes, well, if you're staying, it's only proper that we introduce you.
Yeah.
So, I think probably the best thing to do is to do that next. So, if you'd like to follow me, and she said she kind of gets off the chair, and you're not entirely certain you see her jump off. It's kind of like the chair just kind of rocks like it's the same pace it's been the whole time you've been there, and she just kind of flits down on her little dragonfly wings and lands, kind of straightening out her little russet dress and things. So, if you're all
so
done with
cute.
your tea, I will introduce you to my wife.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
of
by the
course.
way, I
Did
am
you finish your
fully.
tea, actually?
It's a bit hot.
Don't you
believe it.
mean tastes like horrible things?
Yeah, well, I thought I'd give it a try. By the way, I am fully picturing Aunty Needles as a Sylvanian Families character.
She's the closest thing that a human can get to Miss Tiggy Winkles from the Enid Blyton books that you possibly can. She has the pinny, she has the little russet dress, little bloomy sleeves. She commands more
That's
respect than
exactly.
somebody that of her stature and character should do. So she does kind of give that sort of soft, like, underneath this all, she's bloody powerful, I bet.
Looks like a cinnamon roll, can't kill you.
Yeah. She just kind of walks around the chair and she goes, if you could follow me around here. This is going to feel a little odd for anyone who has not been in a Fey house before. She just pottles along like ahead of you with her little hands up, holding her knitting. And she literally just looks like she's about to do a circle of the room, and she just walks you behind one of the draperies. And as you come back, the colours in the hall have changed from blues and greens to oranges and deep browns. And the designs on the drapery have gone from spring to autumn.
Oh,
And the same setup is there. Even the chairs look like they haven't moved at all. But the one big difference is sitting in that giant throne is a tall, very Fey-looking woman with deep, dark, woody brown skin and green hair that kind of drapes down, that's kind of decorated with like dewdrop chains of spider webs and little autumn flowers and things like that. And she's kind of glancing out off to one side, like completely oblivious to all of you, and just kind of just isn't completely aware at all. And until Aunty Needles kind of just drags you all in front of her, and she coughs. Mallory, we have guests. And she goes, oh, I thought you were entertaining someone, dear. Who have you brought? Oh, hello. You brought
hi.
You brought people from the mud. That's lovely. We don't get many of their kinds up here. And a satyr I don't know.
Hi. I'm not. I don't. Are we muddy?
No, Rock's also looking for mud.
Yeah.
Make me a history check.
All of us.
Yeah.
Oh, a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh. 13.
13.
Yep.
Also 13.
People in the Mud is kind of a really clumsy translation of the Fey word for mortals, which are people who are born in, toil in, and are placed in the soil. Mortals, basically.
Hilarious.
Which kind of gives you an impression of how some Fey see you. Like, it's not meant to be an insult. It's more of a, your lives are short and full of very close to the earth. Whereas
Your life said short and meaningless.
Yeah. Whereas we're all up here being wonderful and ethereal and stuff like that. We're clearly children of the sky, and you're children of the earth.
The mud.
The mud. Yeah. And she's actually like, she's hauntingly beautiful, this woman. Like, she's there's something almost slightly bored and tragic about her, but it's kind of almost feels like a veneer, like she could burst into laughter at any moment. And she just kind of leans on the chair. She goes, and what are your names?
Oh,
I'm Aisling.
I'm Eugene. Hello.
Rock. My name is Rock.
Well, it's very nice to have you in my house. Aunty Needles doesn't normally bring people round this side of the house, you see. I'm generally very busy, but it's very nice to meet you. I am to take this. They'll be staying for the night, yes, dear. Oh, wonderful, she claps. She goes, well, I hope the staff do take good care of you, and if you do need anything, make sure you ask Aunty Needles. I'm just not very good at those sorts of little things. She's so much better at that sort of thing. Did you know that there's a satyr in the Bold Isles in Ashore currently who thinks that he has a chance with the local duchess's wife? It's really funny. I'm watching it from here. Would you like to see?
But you can see that from here?
Well, can't
What?
you? Oh, no, of course, no. Sorry, that's a Fey thing. Yes, that's me. I can do that, not everybody else. Right, yes. And she just kind of picks you on the head, Eugene, and it's like you're in two places at once, and you're not kind of seeing it, you're just kind of aware of this, for better or worse, frisky satyr who's sort of caught the eye of one of the local ladies and is just making a complete idiot of himself, and everybody else can see it, but he can't.
Oh, yeah, that's embarrassing.
Isn't it? It's hilarious.
Oh, no.
It really is. It's all right. He'll learn a lesson from it. And I think she will as well. We might have guests next month, by the way, Needles. We'll just make sure we're ready for them.
Oh my god, there's so much. What?
I think Aunty Needles just kind of just squeezes your hands, Aisling. She goes, I think we'll leave Mallory to her. Yes. For the moment.
To quote Rooney, her stories.
Yes. If that's okay. I think your vision snaps back. You may have advantage on the next perception check that you have.
Oh, good.
Damn.
Not great at those.
So just make a note of that. And that lasts until you use it. If you want to call it anything, you can call it Mallory's Blessing.
Mallory's hashtag blessing.
And before you go, none of you have seen a little half-dragon, have you? I lost him, and I really need him to come back. I thought you were him for a second, actually, Rock. But you're
He's not
clearly
little.
not. I mean, compared to her, you're all quite small, but... Yeah.
I'm actually a dragonborn. But where did you lose them?
I don't know. That's the problem. They're very clever. If you see them, tell them that I'm looking for them and I've got a job for them.
Do they have a name?
They do, but they don't like me using it.
Right.
Names have power and all that. So
Of course, yes. I'm just wondering how we would know if we encounter the exact...
Well, he's... She kind of makes a motion for about 4 foot. He's about this tall, and he's got wings, so that kind of makes him out. He's kind of sort of your colour, but a bit greyer. Last time I saw him, anyway. But anyway, yes, if you do see him.
Good. Okay. Of course, we will send him your way.
Needles just kind of... Aunty Needles just rolls her eyes and just kind of... Well, we'll see you... I will see you at dinner. And I shall go and get our friends settled for the evening. And she just kind of trundles back through and almost
Bye,
like
Mallory.
Kind of in the reverse of the way you came. You come back into the blue and greens of before.
And Rock's going to sort of leave the room sort of bowing very deeply and sort of feeling like, for some reason, like he's sort of just in the sort of middle of royalty or something.
I love how quickly Rock gets deeply intimidated by fancy pants people.
It's great.
As soon as we come through to the other side, I think Rock will immediately sort of blurt out to Aunty Needles and just go, "Oh my goodness, Mallory is so beautiful. Quite extraordinary, and I mean, just what a presence, and very beautiful, just very beautiful, very, very."
Oh, really? Most people tell her that she's lucky. She's lucky to have me.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she is. I'm not saying that you're not beautiful. I mean, you are beautiful, obviously. I mean,
Rock!
but
She just
she's
touched your hand. She goes, "You're too easy, my love."
Well, anyway. Yes, it is lovely here. It's your room is very beautiful.
Oh, wait till you see your rooms for the night.
Do the furniture? Does the furniture move?
Do you need it to move?
No, definitely not. Not.
No, I think most of the room, most of the room I'm thinking of for you, most of the furniture stays where it is. But you probably need to leave some bacon out for the footstool.
Yeah, it's really important.
sorry.
That's like a thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna exacerbate everything Needle says from now on.
And Rock's just making a note of the bacon for the footstool.
I'm not making you guys roll insight, but I think that Aisling at the very least has worked out that Needles is completely yanking Rock's chain on a lot of this.
Fully true. I mean, she has a +8 to insight, and
Yeah.
she's Fey. Surely she's worked it out.
Yeah, this is all a game for Needles. You are taken down a corridor.
Sorry. Before we leave, as we're leaving, I'll let everyone else go first, and then just before Rock leaves the room, he's going to turn around, go back to the chair that he was sitting on, and just kind of go, "Oh, thank you very much," and then sort of leave quickly.
Just before you leave, there's kind of like this big grin under the pillow kind of appears, and this sort of like leans back into these sharp teeth. And it
Okay.
its front legs back, leans so it bows to you ever so slightly.
Oh, I shall bow, but move very quickly out the room now. I think as soon as I catch up with him, I'm just whoever's at the back. I'm probably Eugene, I would imagine. I'm going to go, it was a mimic. The chairs are mimics. That's what they were. That's why they were moving.
Yeah, but they're tame. It's all right.
But yes, anyway. Well, I thought it was very interesting. I took the enormous teeth as well. It's just quite alarming. Anyway. So...
I love this so much.
Amazing. So you're taking through. It is a little early than you would probably normally turn in, but I think from the road you're all quite tired.
Some of us did almost die yesterday.
And that does wear on you. You are led down a long corridor that kind of looks like it's made out of this like white wooden paneling with like instead of sconces, they look like silver birch trees that hold everlights.
Pretty.
And it's one of those things where distance doesn't seem to hold itself in the right sort of way. You feel like you're walking for a while and no time at all. And then you come across 3 doors. All of which have silver plaques on the front of them, made from like a darker version of this white wood as well. And they have your names on them.
Aww.
And
We get our own rooms. We get our own ones.
I know that they've got our names on them already. I mean, that's rather impressive. I mean,
Oh, good. This spelt mine right. That never happens.
Clearly back with the Fey.
Yeah. Or the Irish.
Yeah.
Either way. Same thing.
So who would like to open the door to their room first?
I definitely opened mine pretty quick.
You are greeted with a familiar-looking room with green grass, a little frog's pond, and an orange frog sitting on the lily pad waiting for you.
Yes. Oh my god. Clementine. I'm so excited. I run in and give Clementine a hug.
It is Clementine as well.
Oh! I'm just like sitting with him on my lap, looking back at my mates, like, ah!
Yeah, I think Eugene was like waiting and watching what Aisling did first, and then hearing the excitement, he'll kind of like run into her room and be like, "Wait, this is your room."
He's here.
and Rock's going to stand at the doorway. It's not going in the room, but Rock's just going to be... So, is this your actual room, or have they recreated it here? Eugene, are we back in the mansion? Or...
Can I tell if it's like a recreation or if it's...
You can cast Detect Magic, or you can create... you can do an Arcana check.
Hi, Raid. Sorry.
Hey,
there's a lady in the
Raiders.
chat.
Hey,
Say hi.
Raiders.
Oh, no. Sure, let's cast Detect Magic.
Cool.
I'm busy looking around to see if I can see anything that's not right. But can I do a perception or investigation on
You
that?
can do an investigation
Sniff
check.
Clementine.
certainly.
Lick Clementine.
I lick the frog.
Is this my frog?
The truth of the matter is, that's what happened to start with. Nothing for the last 2 days has happened. Ashley's
Yeah,
been Ashling
it's
laying
all
in the
just
room.
because Ashling licked a frog.
That's what happens. The end.
Eugene and I are on our own now. Ashling's out
Yeah.
for 3 days having some kind of vision quest.
Yep. Well, I got a 12. So is that frog peyote level good enough?
12. I mean, it feels like Clementine behaving. The room seems
Tastes
exactly
like
right.
Clementine.
You cast Detect Magic, and you do sense there's like a portal type magic around the edges. You're kind of very up on these sort of evocation and conjuration spells, and it feels like something like that. I think something kind of clicks in your brain, and if you want to make an Arcana check off the back of it.
That is 25.
25. With the right combination of spells, it is possible to touch on another person's demi-plane, particularly if you are aware of what that plane is. From your kind of reading of the situation, you kind of infer that Aunty Needles' home is very much like your uncle's, and because she knows your uncle quite well, what she's done is she's just found your rooms in your uncle's home and just made a shortcut through these
Downloaded
doors
them
for you.
Yeah, I think Eugene has been walking around the room for a while, like...
Is it? Is it
That
mine?
is so genius. I
What
mean,
is
I
it?
never would have thought to do that like that. I mean,
Does
wow,
that mean we could just sleep in our own rooms anytime we want? Could we do this? Could we somehow?
Well,
Could you
no.
do this?
Well, it's kind of... So, I think Aunty Needles' house is very similar to my uncle's house. And because
Cool.
they have a connection, they know each other. So
I
that's
see,
why
right.
it's possible to kind of make sort of like a portal from between the two.
Well,
So this
wait,
is your
so it's
actual room.
literally the room.
Yeah, we can
But-
literally sleep in our own rooms this evening.
Whoa.
I'm going to go over and sort of very cautiously open my door and kind of look through.
It is your room, as you instructed Eugene to make it for you, complete with all the accoutrements, the little sort of decanters of various whiskies and wines and good books
Oh,
and
this
a
is
royal
so much
fire.
more comfortable. I mean, I love the nature, but this is so much more comfortable. I'm going to just
Rock
go over.
loves the nature.
I'm just going to go over and kind of cautiously prod the footstool just to check what's good.
I think Ashley's
I
going to
mean,
dive in and be
It's
like,
footstool
no!
anyway, so it is going to move.
Yeah, but I want to make Rock jump, so I'm going to dive in and be like, don't touch it!
That's not funny, Ashling. It's not appropriate to scare people when they're sort of not expecting it. Anyway, right. Well, this is very comfortable. Eugene, are you not going to check on your room?
Yeah.
What? We'll check on it. Why? I mean,
Just
yeah.
look at it. See, it's
I
there.
open
It's
the
cool.
door and
Yours opens up into the library. Oh dear, I guess.
no. That's fine.
I
This is fine.
apologise.
This
I
is-
was aiming for your
No,
room,
don't-
but it appears that you think this is your room.
No,
Well-
Yeah.
to be honest, it's where we find him sleeping regularly, so it is honestly not a problem.
Oh well, make sure we get you some blankets and things to take in.
There's blankets in there already. It's fine. But thank you.
I feel like Eugene has probably got a magic pull-out bed somewhere there.
Yeah, little Z bed.
Right, well, I'm just going to go into Ashling's room and just say, could I just ask you, Ashling,
What?
so are there any Just protocols. No, not the foxes. If there are foxes in this room, I'm leaving anyway. But also, your frog wouldn't like the foxes. Anyway, never mind that. Are there any protocols here while we're here? I know about the not taking things from people on the wagons thing. I know that was an oversight. It was a momentary panic. It's no need to dwell on it. But are there any other protocols we should know about? I'm not as familiar, obviously, with the Fey protocols as I am with most ways of behaving. So it's just a little unnerving. I just wondered if I could check. Just don't want to make a mistake or offend anyone or sit on someone's relative by accident or something.
That was one sentence. There were so many disclaimers in there. Right. Well, Needles has said that it's fine. Like hospitality-wise, we can have the stuff that's in Needles' house. Like if she offers it to us and all that.
Generally, while we're here, are there like cardinal rules that we should do or not do? I feel like I'm a little out of my comfort zone with Fey tradition.
Chris, what ones do I know that I feel we should know?
I mean, generally speaking, with the Fae, do not take anything until you know exactly what you're getting and what is expected in return. Do not offer anything because you will indebt that person and they will have to repay you, which can be pretty nasty, particularly if they're not happy about the deal. Do not take things that are not yours, because that automatically indebts you to the person whose belongings they are. Do not attack people unless you are prepared to defend yourselves against their whole family.
I feel like I'm in the episode of Sopranos.
Kind of, some of it. Remember that nothing is as it seems, and guard your name.
Sorry, I like Dungeon Delve's rule. That makes more sense to me. Rules about dealing with the Fae. Don't.
Yeah.
It's not quite as bad as it would be in other campaigns where you go into the Feywild and think literally things like you say, okay, hi, can I take your name? And you go, yes. And then they go, thanks.
Yoink, mine.
Bye.
That sort of stuff doesn't work out here because they are still in the material plane. However, names still have power.
Okay, well, I'll relay that to Rock then. Just
good. No, that's fine. All things that I'm vaguely familiar with, so that's fine. I just yes, obviously I just don't want to sort of embarrass anyone or us
or yourself.
Yes, I mean we are guests here. We want to be on best behaviour. So
yeah.
Yes. Anyway,
most Fey, particularly enclaves, because they want to create a good and this is nice little actually tidbit for the history of the enclaves. Most of the enclaves started as a place to stick the Fey that managed to survive the Ascension. After the war, everything was really, really rough between the relationships between the Fey and people of the material plane. They were, and I think Rock, you would probably know this from your education growing up. They were blamed for what happened to the world, and they were pariahs. So the Council of it started in Daklan. Rather than see the Fae punished untowardly, the Queen at the time suggested that they remove themselves and then help rebuild from those places. So elves, satyrs, fairies, anything along those lines that was Fey-blooded all went to the same places, and they started as ghettos almost, and they kind of grew. And it depends on where you are. The one in Cloud's Cairn, this one you're in at the moment, is renowned for being the largest in the world and the freest in the world. The people of Cloud's Cairn, as you already know, don't care what you are or where you come from, as long as you contribute and you take care of the world around you. That's the only thing that they care about. That's one of the reasons it's one of the best melting pots for a lot of different peoples. The only people who didn't like that, of course, were the elves, who kind of went, no, I don't think so, and went and built New Dawn by themselves, and then kind of just
Classic.
basically.
Classic elves.
You will find elves in the Enclave, but they're mostly elves that couldn't make it out in time, or were forgotten, or left behind, or some of them who had mortal families, didn't want to leave them behind.
Scandal.
Over time, things have got better for the Fae. They are generally recognised as citizens in most countries. There's still a bit of grumbling and a bit of racism, particularly, sadly, from humans, because they're short-lived. They have a tendency to blame a lot of things on other people.
Just jealous.
And dwarves who just...
That's what happens with them folk from the mud.
But people like Aunty Needles have worked really hard with people like Rebecca to try and improve the Fae relations, and this put it this way, particularly in places like Cloud's Cairn and the Free Nations, they're not pariahs anymore. There's some people that are like a bit not sure you're a Fae, but they're not outwardly hostile anymore.
Yep, that makes sense.
In the Empire, things are much worse.
Yeah. Cool. What time is it at the moment where we are?
It's probably late afternoon. It's probably getting on for about 6-ish, I would have thought, because it's been quite a day. I can't remember what sort of time I said you kind of arrived, but also you're in a Fey realm, so Fey house, so time's weird.
I'm going to knock on Ashling's door if we've gone to separate
It's not
rooms.
closed.
Of course not. I'm going to knock on Ashling's door frame because I still knock.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
yeah. Hi.
And just kind of, it's still early. I don't feel like sleeping. I wonder if we should. Do you think we can have a little walk around and?
Do you know what? I'm feeling right snacky.
I mean, I could perhaps have a small drink or snack. I mean, should we fetch Eugene and see if we can have a little wander?
Yeah, good plan.
Really
Okay.
wonderful. I will go and knock on.
I tuck Clementine
Eugene's
in
door.
before I leave.
Tuck Clementine in, and as normal, Clementine starts eating the blanket.
Yep, standard. And then I leave.
Good frog. I'm going to knock on Eugene's door.
Yeah. Hello.
Eugene, we thought we'd go for a little walk. Would you come with us?
Get some snacks.
What kind of snacks? Like the regular kind of snack, right? Not the other kind of snack. Which I'm sure not sure I
What's
understand still.
Oh no, that wasn't some face stuff. That was just bad. So yeah, we'll find some normal snacks.
No, just snacks like cheese and Aisling and her cheese and that. No, we're not going. I don't know why you needed to bring that up. It's just unnecessary. Look, are you coming with or not?
Well, it just seemed like people need to clarify what kind of snacks sometimes. Yes. Are we allowed to do that? Can we just? I mean, we're in someone else's house. Are we?
We're not in prison.
She didn't say
No,
not
but we
go anywhere, so she trusts you enough to wander around the house.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we can ask her, or I can try and send her a message or something if you'd rather. But I'm sure we can go. I mean, I'm sure if we can't go, they'll soon let us know.
I'll tell you what, we'll ask her for recommendations for good snack places before we go.
Good thinking. Gives her a chance to say no if she feels it's inappropriate.
Yep. All right. Let's go find it.
Oh, but Eugene, don't drink anything if somebody just shoves it at you. That's don't do that.
What about if someone's screaming in my ear?
Look, I said I'm sorry. I panicked. All right, it was just
You're going to make me drink that.
Well, the man yelled to drink it, so I just got carried away. It was just a moment of panic. It's all fine.
I've left. I'm trying to find Aunty Needles.
Just go to Tut and follow Aisling.
That's fairly standard.
So, do you have a destination in mind, or is it just a random ramble around Aunty Needles' house?
No, for Rock, I think it's more the house or like outside in the enclave. It's more that he has never been into this kind of enclave before. So for him, it's both terrifying because he has no idea what behavior is appropriate, which means that he's completely out of his comfort zone. But he's also fascinated by something that is so different from an environment that he's normally in, where in this place, the rules that he is like lives his life by. In terms of behavior and protocol and manners and everything, in this environment, like none of it makes sense anymore.
Rock gets
So
to
he's
go
kind of
feral.
fascinated and overwhelmed
I
by
love
it.
it.
But
Rock gets
Whereas
to
he
go feral.
never
Rock's on
really
tour.
understands what the protocol is or what's expected of anyone. So it's standard.
We cover all the bases because Rock's too far one way, I'm too far the other, and you don't know which way to go.
So the general vibe is to get outside and have a look around at the enclave itself. Is that right?
yeah, it's just a wonder, really.
So I think you start wondering sort of what you think is vaguely back towards the main entrance hall where you first met Aunty Needles, and within seconds you actually find yourselves at a big wooden door, which looks like it goes outside.
That was quick. I didn't expect that.
I feel like the house kind of knows where we want to go.
It's not just
Sort
me.
of like
Just the distances and
Life's
stuff
house.
are a little.
It does
odd
look
again,
a lot
yes.
like the door that you used to come in, but
Ooh.
but in a different
I mean,
place.
which would make it highly likely that it's the one to go out.
Science. Are there any other people around before we leave? Like
Literally
any staff
just-
or anything?
Like walked up one corridor, round a corner, and up another corridor, and then you were there. It was really straight.
Okay. Needles. Aunty Needles.
And then just from beside you, you hear, "Yes, dear. How can I help?"
Ah! Oh God! I
Right.
don't know why people have to sneak up. Anyway,
I need to put a feckin' bell on you, Needles. I love you. You can't be doing that. Okay.
Aunty Needles, Ashling. Remember your hierarchies.
manners
Yeah,
actually.
right. Aunty Needles. Sorry.
Just because
Right,
you're my
so-
current favourite doesn't mean I'm going to let you get away with things.
I think Rock looks decidedly hurt at that comment.
I've got goat legs. I've got special dispensation here.
She picks up. She just kind of, "Oh, shush! You're my favourite dragonborn. Don't worry about it."
Oh, well.
There you go. He's happy now. Right. We're well snacky, so we were thinking we're going to go out for a wee bit and see if we can get some snacks. Do you have any recommendations for good places that won't freak Rock out and that I'll find tasty and that Eugene will like?
Oh, the Twilight Market will be starting now.
Oh, God, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you need anything to pay?
Oh, yeah. Can we not use...
Do we not
Do
use
you have any
gold?
favours on you?
I don't think so.
Bear with me. And she disappears. She literally just kind of walks through a door, a little door, like half-sized door that you guys didn't even see before, but that was clearly there all the time. And then she comes back out, and she's got like 4 bags. She goes, right. So this is a minor favour.
Okay.
This is a small favour owed over a long time. This is quite a big one. And this is one that can still be negotiated upon if the person selling you goods is willing to do so. And they're all marked in different colours, and she just deposits them into Ashling's hands.
Oh, mistake.
God.
Okay.
So, and these are just used as currency. So we can't use sort of gold pieces, and that's not.
Some people will take gold, but there are some things that can only be bought with favours. And rather than owing shopkeepers favours, I thought it might take it out the middle. Rather than you're going to have to come back and pay that favour back at a future time in your adventures. You don't have to be hanging around forever.
Okay.
True.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's cool.
Always check the price and always haggle.
Okay.
Right, Aisling, you're in charge of the haggling.
You'd be better at that.
I'm terrible heckler.
well, I'm sure we can give it a go.
Just remember, most of the merchants lie until they have to tell the truth.
That's
At
comforting.
what point do they have to tell the truth?
When you've got them backed into a corner, normally. It's fun.
Yeah.
They'll enjoy it.
Okay.
But
All right, cool.
But just don't go in... a lot of mortals go in quite unprepared.
Do we
Can cause
need to do
problems.
stretches or?
No, just don't offer them things that you don't want them to have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, that's a very good advice. Yes.
Remember,
The Twilight-
Eugene, Rock, names. Don't dish them out.
No names. No names.
Well, I know that you're not using your full name, Brock, so that's not a problem.
Yeah,
Well, yes, I mean, and the Twilight Market is it? I mean, I don't. It's just a regular, a kind of market, like where they sell and trade. It's not like something strange that I.
It's a Fey market. They sell and trade goods. There will be some goods which are more interesting to Fey and some that are more interesting to you. You can usually find most things that you need for day-to-day stuff, and sometimes something particularly special.
Oh, Eugene, you might be able to find some magic things. Maybe some of the components that you need may be different here, or some spell scrolls that we wouldn't get normally in Cloud's
There'll
Care.
be some weird books you can guarantee.
Oh, you said the magic word, books.
Yep.
Well, come on, let's go.
And you step out, you open the door, and you step out, and you find you're actually at the bottom of the pillar.
Oh, thank God. Good.
And you can see that just setting up is indeed a large, very colourful market that's kind of positioning itself around the pillar itself. And you kind of, when you came in, you kind of noticed that there was this larger open area. It was just kind of a bit empty before, but now you can see it's like trades going on, and there's all sorts of like people, mostly Fey at this point. There's a fair few fairies, some different satyrs, a couple of half-elves and elves, but then dotted amongst them are the dragonborn, tieflings, dwarves, lots of goblins, really high concentration of goblins actually in this area, but they all have that little sort of like their ears kind of point in slightly different directions to the goblins you've met before, and they all have these sort of slightly feathery tufts to them.
I know Ashling's very excited to see other satyrs around.
Yep.
I feel I'm pointing them out like human Charlie does with dogs when we're walking around. I'm definitely just like, oh, look, there's another one. No.
Yeah. And they are as varied and different as the other races that you kind of encounter as well. Some of them are much more goat-like, and some of them are just like humans with slightly furry legs and hooves. And they all kind of seem to get on quite well. There's a lot of them are drinking quite heavily all the time, or flirting with absolutely anyone. They are dreadful for that. And I think you probably noticed from reputation that a lot of satyrs love song and dance and love and joy. And wine. Lots of wine. And they, in places like the Enclave, they've kind of just learnt to lean into it to be part of the experience for outsiders. And I don't think they mean any harm by it, but you kind of like, a couple of them, you'll just give a little wide berth.
Yeah.
Because they're taking it a little too far. A couple of them too try and drag you into like a dance and things like that.
I'll do a brief wiggle with some friends.
So they drag you into a dance. They try to drag all three of you into the dance. Does anybody else kind of go with Aisling?
Oh no, I smack their hand away immediately.
Excellent.
I feel I only do like one spin and then sort of.
And you kind of,
with my friends again.
you kind of are able to kind of just kind of get in and out and things like that. And they laugh and choke, and they kind of cheering for you to stay as you kind of step away and like this.
Sorry, we're well hungry. Back in a bit.
There's some gold bread on the end of the aisle. He'll be sitting up into it. It's amazing.
Yes. Thank you.
And they kind of get back to it. And you do notice there's this kind of like young female human who's been dancing with them since before you arrived. And she's starting to get to that point where she's, I want to step away now, but doesn't seem to be able to.
Oh, can I help her escape?
Yes, make me a dexterity performance roll.
What? Just a straight dex roll?
So
or...
dexterity, but if you've got performance as a proficiency, you can add your proficiency modifier to it.
I do not.
You do not. That is fine.
I got 17 though.
17? That's really good. So you kind of like, as you're kind of talking about the gold bread, you kind of whisk her away from you, and she, the two of you have stepped, and she's sort of panting on the side and leaning on you ever so slightly.
It's all right, mate. It's okay.
She goes, "Oh, thank you. I've been there for 2 hours."
What? Right, go lie down. Hydrate now.
Be very careful if you get into dances with these people.
Oh yeah, I know.
And she just kind of wanders away, looking very shaky on her legs. And the satyrs don't even notice she's gone. They just carry on with their escapades down. Eugene, I would like you to make me a perception check. You do not need to use your boon. You can keep your boon for one that you want to do.
Thought you were going to say some wisdom saving throw nonsense.
No.
Not yet. That's still coming.
16.
16. You notice a tiny little dragon flitting sort of like behind you guys, like from roof to roof. And they have like lilac scales with like a red crest and little tiny horns that come out the side and curl back on themselves, and butterfly wings, and they seem to be purposefully following you all along. And you notice as they get closer, and they see that you spot them, and they kind of try to hide, like looking nervous, and then kind of look out again, and just a little kind of jet of purple smoke. And they reach into this little tiny little leather bag beside them, and they put their hat, this little tiny wizard's hat on, and flip down and sit on a box near you.
I will die for them.
Yeah, yeah. How big are we talking?
About that tall.
God.
I think you recognise a fairy dragon easily enough.
So cute.
I just produced a noise I didn't think I could produce.
And they kind of reach back into their bag, and they kind of pull out this little scroll, and you kind of recognise some of the words on it. It looks very much like the Find Familiar spell.
Ooh.
And they kind of offer it to you, as if to say, do you want a familiar?
If I take this familiar, do I lose pocket? Important question.
No. Maybe an Arcana check.
That is a 12.
12. You're not entirely certain. You
Wait, no, I don't have advantage on that. It's just perception. Damn. I need to be sure.
If you enter into a bargain with one familiar, you're not entirely certain if you enter into a new bargain with a new familiar, whether it overwrites or whether you can only have one of them at one time.
Okay, I think knowing that, Eugene would sort of like bend down and speak quite softly to it and say, it's really lovely to meet you, and you seem really nice, and I appreciate the gesture, but I kind of already have an agreement with someone, and I let Pocket out of my pocket, and he sort of scurries onto my shoulder. And
the fairy dragon kind of goes, and then kind of reaches out and kind of like
Ooh, this is gonna get awkward.
really like I'm really sorry I didn't know, and then
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm very flattered. Your hat is very cute, by the way.
Pocket kind of scurries down your arm. And then kind of gets into your palm, and the two of them just kind of like size each other up for a second, and then they both reach out their paws at the same time and just shake hands. And the fairy dragon.
I'm really working hard on learning flock of familiars, so maybe I could come back.
Pulls out a wooden chit with a name on the back scrawled in a language that you don't read unless you read Draconic.
Does Aisling see anything that's happening right now?
I don't know. I think that.
I was going to say, do we see this?
I feel like this is. Eugene has stopped, so it's whether you guys have been paying attention to what Eugene is doing or not.
I think I'm trying to, because I don't want anyone to get lost and sign away their soul.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be sticking quite close to them, but I'm going to roll to see if I noticed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Yeah, 18. So 18. I'd say I did.
So you kind of have seen all this happen.
I got 11.
11. I think you probably intended to, but you're probably looking at some crystals on a.
Ooh, shinies.
Yeah, something that's kind of exciting and interesting has kind of caught your attention.
Moving and colourful, you know.
Yeah.
Things that attract toddlers.
I didn't say it, you did. The fairy dragon reaches back into the little bag and pull out like this wooden chit and pass it to you. It's got a little name on the back written in Draconic.
Are they offering it to me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yep. So if anybody learns the Find Familiar spell, they can take that name, tie it into the spell, and summon this fairy dragon.
Oh!
Thank you so much.
They bow, they shake hands again with Pocket in this sort of big camaraderie sort of way.
Brother!
And they wave to you, and then they wave to Rock as well, who they see is watching them, and then kind of flitter away.
Bye.
But they were adorable.
I know, right?
They're
I
so
feel
cute.
so bad. I think they wanted to be my familiar, but I explained to them I already have Pocket, and I'm not sure I can make a new agreement without.
Well, I mean, Pocket is part of the team now, so yes, that would be a little odd, but I mean, it was very cute though.
Oh, hey, can you read this? I'll show the thing to Rock.
I can, of course, read Draconic.
Yep.
So
On the back it says Lilac, the fairy dragon.
Oh!
You're lucky you're cute, Pocket.
It is a literal fairy dragon called Lilac. It is so perfectly tailored for you, Theo.
Tempt you.
Eugene says, Eugene says, "You're lucky, you're cute, Pocket." And then Rock just hears in his head from Pocket going, "Eugene's lucky, he's cute."
Actually, Rooney asked a really good question, and I have forgotten. Is Pocket a Fey Fiend Celestial or to be confirmed?
Pocket is celestial.
Oh.
So, and carry into the... And by this time, the Twilight Market is really starting to...
And he's currently a rat, by the way, for
Yeah,
anyone watching that doesn't know.
We allowed him to come back to a rat. Normally, he's a rat. He has been a hawk, a falcon on a couple of occasions as well.
With a bow tie.
With bow tie.
But yeah, rat is his preference. He gets kind of grumpy.
You guys get into the Twilight Market and everything's setting up, and all the colours, it's still bright and vibrant, but it's gone from like this big, like this big absolute crash of lots of rainbow colours shambolically thrown together. I almost said rambolic.
No.
Rambolic is a great word.
Rainbolic.
Rainbow.
Um, the colours are still very vibrant, but it's kind of like oranges and golds and umbers and things like that. And it's just really rich, really colourful, but it's actually more of a feeling of a design and an aesthetic gone into the idea of the Twilight Market. Canopies are being pulled apart with symbols of a setting sun and a rising moon across them, and hawkers are starting to shout their wares. You can buy for the standard gold any basic equipment you need to. If you need to replace, you can find standard healing potions.
That's
if you
the one.
need to, at 50 gold a piece. Or you can get 3 of them for a small favour.
Should we? Well, we've got one small favour, haven't we?
You have.
Would folks be happy with us spending that, and then we split all the, and we each have a potion?
Yes. I mean, I think I still
I
have.
think I'm doing okay for healing potions, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I think
Cool.
I have 2.
There with inventory.
I think I might buy one then, just with my.
No, I'm okay. I do have healing potion.
I think you guys have been stocking up, although people have gone down. I think you've been replacing them as you go most of the time.
So
Well, I'll go grab another one.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a dickhead.
cool. And we all know dickheads need potions.
That's how the proverb goes.
It is.
You do find the stall the satyr shouted out to you with gold bread on it, and
Yeah.
it is Galfire Godric's gold bread of gallantry. And behind it is a very slim, beautifully red-furred hobgoblin with his hair is very tightly tied back and behind a baker's hat which sits on his head, and a long apron which is just kind of felted out with like gold lame sort of effect and stuff like that, and he kind of welcome this is the best bread store in this conclave or any other. Can I interest you in some of my gold bread?
What flavours you got?
I have a nutmeg. I have dream sage. I have a small rainbow of popping candy written through a sweet bread for you.
That's it. That one.
And he reaches down and fishes out what to Rock and Eugene probably look like normal pastries, but when they say gold, they're not lying. Apart from a lack of sheen, they are bright yellow.
Ooh.
Yeah,
make your tongue go yellow.
What is
Yeah.
it? Is it?
It is
It's
the
pastry.
best bread you will ever have, my friend.
All that. Yeah.
Right. Good. Well, I'll have one of those also.
Cool. Are you having the popping candy one as well?
I am. Yes.
Cool. So who's going to take a bite first?
No, I'm going to find out how much they are first.
Yeah.
He says, for you, I will take a story that I can use exclusively for as much as you'd like. 4 gold for an armful. Or,
An armful of bread.
and he kind of looks at all 3 of you. I would steal a kiss.
From which one of us?
Your choice.
Ah. Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm going to point at Eugene, but so Eugene can't see.
No offense, my friend. You're beautiful. Not my thing.
Make an insight check, please, Aisling.
Okay. Ooh, 22.
22. Steal
Emphasis
a...
on he said steal a kiss.
And Eugene hasn't had a lot of kisses, so...
Oh no, we can't take one of them.
No, not my one kiss. You can't take that
No.
Oh my god! I think Rock would be totally oblivious to that the language of that. Rock's like, what? Why?
Well, since Aisling noticed, Charlie didn't, but Aisling did.
Yeah.
And
that's why I kind of got you to roll, because I'm like, I went
Thank
with that.
you.
Yeah, it's only fair. I don't
yeah, she'll sort of look at Rock and be like, "Yeah, you probably got a few you can spare, right?"
What do you mean can spare?
He wants
But
one of your
he
kisses.
just wants a kiss, yes?
No, not from one that's like now. One you've had before.
He said steal.
What do you mean, like taking the memory of it?
I mean, you
Chris,
look
is that right?
Yeah, you look at Godric and he has this big, broad grin on his face. I like this one. She's clever.
Well,
I have a
mean,
good
that's-
DM, thank you.
That's sneaky use of language there.
You are in the Twilight
we
Market
can't-
now. You need to be careful.
Well, yes, that's true.
We can't take any of Eugene's because that's not fair.
Well,
And
no, I
I've
didn't.
not really got a catalogue to choose from.
Well, it's perfectly
So-
fine here, and I will take out 4 gold,
Ah,
and I will give him 4 gold for an armful of bread.
Excellent. And
All popping candy bread.
all popping candy.
yes.
Well,
We're
probably
gonna be
because I
exploding.
ordered the popping candy, and I wouldn't really think anything further of it. So I'm just going to say yes. No, an armful for 4 gold. There you go. Thank you.
May I please allow me to suggest maybe you take more than just the popping candy? You have there's some orange loaf here. There's some.
Do you have anything in a cinnamon?
Yes, I do. Yes, and it kind of pulls out a cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon,
And
yeah. Okay, Aisling, you're good with the pastries. You choose a sort of a selection, a nice sort of selection of breads for us. Why don't you do
And I'll
that?
cinnamon roll.
All right, so we've got cinnamon, we've got popping candy.
get some
Well, I have one of those orange ones.
Yep.
You got
How about some
Any-
mandragora olive?
Rock. Do you want one of them?
No,
Nah,
I'm good.
I'm all right.
Mandragoras no.
No, not mine.
It's
Not mine.
not attached to the. It's not the seeds from a mandragora. This is what the olive it is. Yes.
But no, I think I'm fine with the ones that we're fully aware of what goes into them.
Yeah, one of them, and one of them, and 6 of them, and one of them.
Yeah. And you kind of get this big selection of bread, and literally an armful for Aisling, and he chuckles and.
Well, we have a bag of holding.
Pockets your 4 gold. Oh yeah, but he doesn't let you put it into the bag of holding until he's measured the arm length.
Okay,
yes,
who's
of
got
course.
the broadest arms?
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
Rock,
Not you.
actually.
I was going to say, I'll
Yeah.
take the armful then. I'm paying.
Uh,
Enormous.
That's
So you-
true.
have some bread. And
Some.
some bread, I
An
will.
armful of bread.
So you got popping candy, and you got cinnamon,
on, I've
and
got to
some
make a note of
orange, and some savoury
orangey
ones as
ones.
well.
Yep, some savoury ones, some cheesy ones. And I think maybe a couple of spicy ones.
Excellent. Who bites into the popping candy one? Okay.
I vote me.
Yep. So as you're
I will do it with Aisling. But I think Rock is like trying to be adventurous, so he's going to take a bite with Aisling, but he won't do it before Aisling. He'll do it with Aisling.
Amazing. So we will bite at the same time.
amazing. So you guys bite into it at the same time, and
Eugene will just watch.
it. When they say popping candy, they're not they're not joking. For the next 10 minutes, every time the two of you open your mouth, there's this kind of like literal tiny little fireworks of explosion.
I think the first time Rock does it, he's like,
Everything
hilarious.
okay, Rock?
Ashley's having a great time.
I think once he calms down, Rock's going to just be like, every time he gets near Eugene, he's just going to go, bah, at Eugene. So there's like mini fireworks that keep popping out at Eugene.
They're perfectly harmless. It's like a little version of the pyrotechnic spell, basically.
Oh my God.
Tied into the bread, but it just kind of attaches the enchantment to the inside of your mouth. So for 10 minutes, every single time that you open your mouth, it's like.
Oh yeah, Rock is as soon as Rock has calmed down and realised his head's not exploding, he is going to randomly walking past people, sort of just randomly go bah at people so that there's like popping candy popped at them.
Just do me a D6 roll, please.
Initiative.
Yeah, roll for initiative. You attack someone.
Why do I have the feeling this is not how Chris thought this episode was going to go?
Fey stuff.
Does any episode go the way Chris is going to think it's going to go?
I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6. On a 6, you do this at an excitable-looking Kenku girl who has a bright blue lollipop in her hand. And you do this at her. She squawks happily. Just goes, again and again.
Oh.
And I'll do it again.
And she licks her lolly, and this big blue cloud smells like blueberries. And you watch as your little things, your little popping candy sort of like are actually sort of frozen in front and just kind of drift to the floor.
Man, they
like
start
snowflakes.
vaping really young here.
I know, right? It's the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
I think as soon as Rock sort of sees that he's been counted, I think he will just sort of applaud and kind of bow to her.
And she's laughing and playing, and you kind of hear this sort of like, Terry, come on, little one. And she turns around and she wanders off with this.
Before she goes, I'm just going to go, Terry, where did you get the lollipop?
And she points to a candy store on the end of the row.
Got it. At some point, I would like to go to the candy store and get a couple of those, but I don't want anyone else to see.
Yeah, excellent. You might need to do some stealth check or wait until they're distracted by something.
Yeah, that's fine. You let me know how you want me to run it.
What we're going to do is do a stealth roll for me in advance and just like keep that number for me somewhere, and I'll ask what it is at the time.
Sure.
So the Twilight Market is absolutely full of wonderful things. There's things that look like they're taxidermy until you see people say magic words to them, and then the creature springs to life again and kind of for a second or two, and then kind of goes back to where it was. I think
it's like being back on the island again. If you sort of poke things, they move.
Oh no! That's awful.
I hadn't even thought about it. That's amazing. There's people claiming like these magical wands and weapons and crystals and things and all sorts of like that. Someone is selling pots of mud, which they claim have rejuvenating effects. And they do seem to be quite popular as well.
Jar of dirt.
There is a large Fearbolg who says for the right price he can awaken your pets. If we want to, you've just got to bring them to him. You actually do see a couple of people with rabbits and different things kind of bring them along. And you watch as he kind of casts this magic spell on them, and you see this sort of sentience awaken in them. And it's
do I see a fluffy silver grey cat?
You do not.
Okay, just checking.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
god.
no Neragwin.
Yeah. What if you awakened your pet and your pet turned out to be a dick?
I mean, you were thinking about Neragwin.
You're pretty
so that
likely.
seems fair.
No shade to lovely Neragwin.
I love that idea. Oh my god, I've made you awaken so we can talk. Piss off.
But you do see, actually,
at
you do
me.
see this. Like, there's this first one. This is Bunny Rabbit, and the Bunny Rabbit is so cute, and the little girl is so happy. And the next one, he brings along this like a goldfish, and you can see the Fearball kind of pull back a bit. And are you sure? And this little boy's like certain, and he casts it on the goldfish, and the goldfish starts screaming and shouting, "Ah! Life is pain! What?
Oh my god, that's disturbing.
Oh
And the boy
In a
walks
few
by-
seconds, they'll forget, and then it'll
And
do the
then
whole thing again.
The Fearbog immediately dispels the magic and takes the coin. The mother is mortified, and she's so apologetic to him, and he's just like, "There's no problem." It's like that.
Oh my god, that's really traumatic.
god!
Was that worse than than the fox screaming, or
I mean, it was a little more manageable, to be fair, because it's sort of contained in a bowl and underwater.
It's like,
But to be fair, that is quite disturbing. I mean, I hadn't
Yeah.
really thought about what it would be like to suddenly be awakened in a
it's been a while since
goldfish
you've had an
bowl.
existential crisis. So
Yes, days, to be honest. So
Yeah.
yes.
There's a
Um,
pirate who looks suspicious. Looks suspicious, and he's carrying a bush.
He's a pirate. Of course, he looks suspicious.
we're living here. We're never leaving.
For our friends in Wicked Game, Dice of the Slice. Yeah. So you go through the market. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful things. A lot of it doesn't look particularly useful to you in terms of what you want to do. There are a couple of some really lovely bookstores full of like ancient manuscripts and things like that. And
Ashling's in the
immediately
market for a
the
good
looks in the
scarf.
window.
yeah, there's like sorry. I got the
Sorry.
Ashling's in the market for a good scarf.
okay. Well, make me a investigation check.
Okay,
Both
she
of
wants
you,
a fancy
actually.
one.
Yeah, sorry, Eugene heard the word books and
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you promised
Invest-
Eugene books.
I did.
that's true.
24.
Not you, actually.
24 and Ashling.
17.
Excellent. And I think it's about this time. Rock, what was your stealth roll?
That was 18.
18. Awesome. So, Rock, you disappear off to the sweet shop, and I will deal with that in a minute.
And we do not notice him disappear off,
You do
right?
not know.
So that's
Okay.
way higher than my passive perception.
Oh, yes,
you
good point.
are-
Yeah. Oh, actually, no, it's only one off my passive perception. So
it's 7 off mine.
Oh,
I don't see things.
Amazing. So, Ashling, you find a stall that does hats and gloves and scarves and things like that, and they have been knitted. And you see, sitting on a little tiny chair is just big enough to be considered sort of like about the same size of as a kobold, is a little green, messy-haired fairy with little blue butterfly wings, who's actually knitting as you watch, and she's furious, and it's kind of like looking at this very fine twine, and they're just coming up. She's literally making produce in front of you, and she looks at you and goes, "Hi, how can I help? Can I sell you something? You look like you look good in red. Do you want a red one? I got a red one. I got a red one, a hat or things like. Hey, wait, 1 second.
Ashling for a brief minute is like, oh God, is this what I'm like with other people?
And then she stops. She goes, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Haste spells should only be used in limited amounts." Oh, hello. How can I help?
boy. Hi. I'm looking for a scarf. I want a big long one.
A big long scarf, and she goes,
Yeah.
"Okay. What colour are you looking for?"
Oh, as many as you can fit on.
I like your jib, and she disappears. She kind of flits up to quite high. Her market stall is quite high, and kind of like as you kind of peek inside, it kind of goes up and up and up and up and up. And she just flits in, and she just.
Could you have one if you got one that's waterproof? It's a bit soggy at the moment where we're going.
It's a little extra, but that's no problem if you're.
Yes, please.
And she kind of comes back down, and she has a proper rainbow scarf that has had many other colours attached to it. My daughter designed this. I think for most people it's a little much, but it is every colour she could remember.
Whoa!
And it is every colour. There's like the main 7 colours of the rainbow, and then there's lilacs, there's pinks, there's whites and greys and browns and turquoises and everything. It is.
I love that she just said it's a little much for most people. Sounds perfect for Ashling, to be honest.
She says it's 3 gold, but it never gets dirty, and it always stays dry.
Oh, that is amazing. That's gonna be perfect. Could I try it on?
Yeah, and she kind of winds it down to you and kind of flits around and just kind of lets it drop onto your shoulders naturally, and you watch as the ends of it, which are slightly tasseled, just kind of drag all the way down to your hooves. Yes. And it looks.
Am I able to use it as a hood as well if
Yep,
it starts
it's
raining?
Huge.
Nice.
This is a masterpiece. How much do you want for the masterpiece?
3 gold. That's all.
Yeah, okay, done.
Or, I don't suppose you've got any food on you, have you?
Just an armful of bread
A bag of holding full of bread, yes.
and cheese.
Oh yeah, actually,
And cheese.
did Rock put the armful of bread in the bag of holding?
Yeah,
Or is he
I
just
would have.
walking around with an armful
You know,
of
I'm
bread?
not carrying it. Don't be upset.
Okay, yeah, exactly, dear. Okay, in that case, yeah, I'll say, well, what
One
have
and
you got a favorite flavor of gold bread?
I could do with some cheese bread or something a little bit more substantial, just kind of...
Oh my god,
Oh.
Ashling's found a soulmate.
Oh, all right, okay. So we've got 3
I'll
different
knock a
types
gold
of
off
cheese
if you
bread.
do.
Hold on. We've got 3 different types of cheese bread. We've got
Oh.
a spicy cheese bread. We've got a sagey cheese bread. And this cheese bread has got some popping candy on it because it's all in the same place. So what?
Probably not the popping candy because I have to talk to customers. A bit like that
right.
sometimes. The sage one sounds wonderful, though. I'd take that.
All right, nice. I will offer the sage. And was it 1 gold knocked off?
I think she says 1 gold, 5 silver. You're a real lifesaver. And she kind of passes it to him. For her, this piece of bread is really big.
Ashling throws it at her.
No!
Excellent. So
Yeah, I will hand those over.
Awesome. So make a note for yourself. You have a waterproof, self-cleaning scarf of many colours.
And that was for, what was it again? Sorry, how much was it?
1 gold, 5 silver.
1 gold, 5 silver. Lovely.
Eugene, you got a really high investigation roll, didn't you?
I did.
So you are going through this kind of old antiques bookstore, and you're kind of pulling it out. You find that what looks like it should be a very old book, but it's in pristine condition.
Ooh.
And you pull it out, and you notice that someone has started scribing spells in it, but hasn't got very far.
Okay.
And a big sort of booming voice comes from behind a pile of books. I see you found the spell book of endurance.
I have.
Yes.
I mean, I have.
And a kind of a big paw of a hand comes around, and this huge tabaxi with big lion's mane comes round the corner. He's got little tiny spectacles, and he's squinting ever so slightly, like he doesn't sort of come out from the back of the store very often. Yes, and he kind of wanders over to you. The owner spent a small fortune on it, got to his first couple of spells, and realized he had no aptitude for magic whatsoever. So he sold it to me, and now it is here for any wizard that would use it.
What kind of spell book is it?
It's a normal spell book, but the difference about this one is, and he kind of pulls out whereas this one will wear and tear and break or burn or...
Yeah, mine did get singed yesterday.
Yeah. This one, and he taps this one, will not.
Oh. Remarkable. How much?
25 gold coins.
I mean, I think that's a small price to pay.
And I was going to sell it for more, but I think you kind of you see wiggles the glasses for a second, and it's like a little tiny sheen that goes across them. Yes, I think this suits you better. And kind of you do notice that there is a marker on the inside of it that says 50 gold coins.
Wow. All right. I will pay 25 gold.
You can look it up. It's an enduring spell book. So in terms of mechanics, it doesn't change anything, but it does mean that your spell book cannot be destroyed by non-magical means.
That's cool.
Nice.
It's considered a wondrous item.
Cool.
Cool. So you can literally drop this in the ocean, it will be fine.
It would would still be floating away,
It
but it
would-
would be fine.
It'd be fine, yeah.
I mean, you'll never see it again, but it's fine.
Yeah, the spell
Can
book.
it come with a little retractable keyring or something?
No. It's just.
Does
it's
it have a
just
light
like
and a
normal
whistle
spell
so
book.
that
It probably
everybody-
has a latch on the front that you can set. Most wizard spellbooks have things like that, just so people can't just go thumbing their way through reading them. I mean, who would let somebody
Who would
just
just
thumb
pick up
through
a book
random
and thumb?
book?
Yeah,
Who does that?
casting
It
spells
can
they don't
only end
understand.
terribly and heartbreakingly and traumatizingly.
So to read the text for people at home, this spellbook, along with anything written on its pages, can't be damaged by fire or immersion in water. In addition, the spellbook doesn't deteriorate with age.
Wow.
Love you, Michelle.
We love you, Michelle.
And are there any other?
Michelle feels seen and picked on.
Yes, said with love. Is it just spell books here, or are there like
There's
regular?
all sorts of normal books, encyclopedias, fiction. Funnily enough, a lot about the different peoples of the world. It seems like the Fae like to read about mortals.
You're all so weird.
There is a number of books on. Weirdly, there's a number of books of accounting and law and things like that.
Ooh.
Which I think when you kind of notice,
Eugene
it just kind of
physically
goes,
recoils.
there was a goblin that got very interested in that, and then decided it wasn't as interested. And, you know.
Yeah, it's not very interesting.
So, is there anything else I can help you?
Well, I was kind of hoping you might have some books on like Fey history or customs, but it seems like you guys mostly read books about us.
I have Lady Mallory's Encyclopedia Fey.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Encyclopedia Fey.
Seven silver. It's not a first edition printing. It's about a third edition, but it's an incredibly good nick. And it hands you a leather-bound book about this big, quite thick, which has, as I say, Lady Mallory's Encyclopedia Fey.
Feytanica.
And underneath it says a guide to the beautiful ways of the Fae for the mortal kind.
Oh, amazing! Thank you.
Does it have a picture of who wrote it?
You're not there. And I'm not certain whether it's something that Eugene is particularly looking for at this point. No, you're just interested. 7 silver.
Great. And you wouldn't happen to have any books about I'm interested to learn. I know they're quite secretive, but I'm interested to learn about New Doan.
Very little. There is a section on New Dawn in there, but it's the elves tend to keep a lot of that sort of stuff from out of circulation. But I do appreciate what you're trying to find out. I mean, they're fascinating. A whole culture built without other people. Even their relationship with the Fae is tenuous at times.
Is it still tenuous, or?
They, from what I hear from my Fae neighbours, they allow Fae into the city, but they are closely watched. The elves consider themselves separate even from the Fae. They certainly would never have a Twilight Market there, which is a shame because I bet they could have some interesting things to trade.
Yeah, right.
Also,
Well,
just real quick, Fey neighbours has to be favours, right? Thank you, Rooney. Thank you. Exactly.
Oh dear. Right, well, it wraps both the books really nicely for you. And it's kind of like a gentle paper that it looks like sugar paper on the outside, but actually when you kind of get it closer, you realize it's much thinner than that, and has like little tiny embossings of like leaves and things in sort of a silver. There you go. A pleasure doing business with you. Please feel free to continue browsing.
Oh, very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, feel free to go back to reading, or I don't want to disturb you.
He smiles a big fangy smile and disappears back behind his pile of books, and you hear a creak and a oh as he kind of settles into something that looks like a chair. That obviously sounds like a comfortable chair.
I think Eugene would stay there, like browsing and reading until one of the other two comes to like drag him away.
Rock.
Yes.
Hello. You find yourself in front of a large candy store with all sorts of weird and wonderful things in there. Some of which doesn't look very appetizing, and some of it looks absolutely fantastically delicious. You're trying not to judge, I guess, given there are no rocks, but the chocolate dipped frogs are probably a bit far for you. Behind it, you see a...
I don't think Aisling would find that amusing, to be honest.
You find there is a pink tiefling woman with long horns that crook back, almost coming back on themselves, dressed in like a white dress tied with there, and she's just pouring chocolate into molds, and then she whispers something and casts like a small freezing spell on them, and then pours them out of the mold very quickly, placing them onto the shelf with others.
I shall look to see if there's like a bell on the counter or anything.
No, there isn't. But as soon as she catches your attention, she smiles and waves you in, waves you over. Hello there. How can I help?
Oh, hello. I wondered if you could help me. I spoke to a small child. She had a candy, a lollipop type thing that she blew and it froze the air in front of her. I wondered what those were.
The Dragon's Popsicles.
Oh, what a beautiful name.
They come in 4 flavours at the moment, just because of the time of year and the ingredients. I have Ice Breath, Heat's Touch, a little bit of static for those that want it, and a bright light for those who want to find their way.
Right, and so they just work by just you just sort of you put them in your mouth and then you can use them.
Yes. Have you had any of the Fey popping candy?
I actually, but I had some of the bread with it in. Yes, it was quite.
I thought we were going to have to explain food as well as chairs today.
It's quite unusual, yes. But yes, so it lasts like that, so like 10 minutes or so.
Yes.
Oh, right.
And
then, how much are those the dragon's popsicles?
2 silver popsicle.
2 silver a popsicle. Good. And what else do you have that sort of has a special effect in your store?
Oh, well, she kind of reaches up and pulls out some gobstoppers, and she goes, these gobstoppers, used in the right way, will seal someone's mouth until they finish them. More of a prank candy, quite popular among parents, funnily enough.
Wow, Fey parents don't fuck around, do they?
They do not.
Oh, you're annoying me. Seal your mouth forever!
We have popping candy, of course, which you've already encountered. We have... she kind of goes, this is funny. This is the sourest apple sweet you'll ever taste. Nobody I know dislikes it, but nobody can finish it. And this one, she says, and she pulls back it does look like a candy floss. It will allow you to give small commands to spiders.
Oh my God. That's so good.
Nothing too complex, but if you want them to leave your room, that's not a problem. If you want them to come hither, that's also fine.
Can't do your accounts for you.
Yeah, paint the ceiling.
Oh, just pictured so many tiny spiders with tiny
Tiny-
paintbrushes.
I know,
painting
in
holes.
little dungarees, little spider dungarees. Anyway,
How would a spider wear dungarees? I must draw it.
I know. I was just going to say, sounds like something you would draw. Anyway, I digress. Right. Well, I wouldn't mind taking just a couple of some of your treats, if that's all right. Could I have let's see. Can I have 2 of each of your dragon's popsicles, please?
Yep.
I've got to keep track of this. How much were they per silver, Chris?
2 silver each. I think we'll say 2 silver each for most of these.
Okay, so that's 16 silver.
Yeah.
And then could I have 2 of the Spider Command candy floss?
Yep.
So that's 20. And then 2 of the gobstoppers.
Yep.
And 1 of your sour sweets.
Yep. Excellent. So you mark off how much silver, because I didn't keep track of that because my head is hot.
24, 25, 26.
Oh.
Yeah, of course, it's useful 26 silver, so nothing like a round number.
Also, there's something here that might interest someone a bit more worldly like yourself. And she pulls down like a leather pouch. This is sneezing powder. It's incredibly useful when sprinkled on food and ingested. Individuals cannot form sentences for a good 10 minutes. She goes, seems you look like the adventuring sort. It is quite useful for stopping spellcasters.
Well, yes, I was going to say a magic user perhaps could be just what's the word I'm looking for? Just convenienced by that. I'll have 2 of those. Are they bags? I don't.
I've only got 1 at the moment.
But that's fine. I'll take the 1 then.
It's 30 gold.
Oh, right. Right.
If you can understand, these things are hard to make and hard to come by. Tastes very nice, though.
Well, if you don't want to sort of talk, that is. Yes. So yes, well, I'll take 1 of those. That could be quite useful. I would imagine that might be handy. Good. Okay. Well, that's 56 silver then.
Yeah, and she takes this 56. 56 silver. Yeah, she takes that.
Yeah. So that's 6 gold.
Yeah. Or you can call it 6 gold if you want to give her a tip.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just give her 6 gold.
She smiles and thanks you for your business.
Good. Thank you very much. That's very, very kind of you.
An absolute pleasure doing business with you. Do try not to create too much mayhem as you have fun.
Oh no, it's just it's a bit unusual. So yes, and my friends may like them. I think.
Just cultural curiosity. It's definitely not going to be causing trouble.
No. Cool. And then I shall head back to see if I can find Eugene or Aisling.
Cool.
Yeah, Jazzbot does make me a point. It's actually 30 gold for the, not 30 silver. I think your brain did the same thing that I did, but we'll sort that out.
Okay, that's fine. I can do that.
So, you make your way back over to the others. You guys come back out, and you see Rock coming down with a big hempen bag that seems to be full of bulging with something.
Oh, did he get a branded tote bag?
It's a little tote bag, yeah. And as he's about to sort of make his way close to you, you hear a familiar voice say, "Ah, there you all are." And Aunty Needles is standing in the middle of the road near you.
Hi.
I have made a discovery, and I think it's rather urgent. So if you'd like to make your way back to the house, we can have a chat with someone who I think might be able to help us.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
You guys make your way back to the bottom of
As
the
we're
pillar.
walking back, I am swishing the scarf and I am talking to them about the scarf and showing off the scarf.
I am sure the scarf has not gone unnoticed by us.
Yeah.
Good.
You guys make your way back to the house, and the door is still open at the bottom of the pillar this
good.
time
Okay.
round. It opens for you as you get closer, and you find yourself straight inside the big antechamber you did before. Standing in the middle of it is Aunty Needles, and with her is a human woman with long blonde hair, quite a big built woman. Looks like she's used to physical labor, could handle herself in a fight, and she kind of looks over the three of you as you come in, and her eyes settle on Rock, and she goes, "Oh, there's a familiar face. Oh goodness, that's good. Hi, Rock. Hello."
Aw.
Um,
The little fluffy Nessie going across the screen.
I think there's a moment of confusion on your face, Rock, because you don't recognize her. It's something familiar about her, but not off the top of my hand. She kind of, oh, of course, yes, you. When you knew me, I was Avar Bricksmith. I was with the Magpies. I now go by Aaron.
Well, yes, it's lovely to see you again. It has been quite some time.
Yes.
And Aaron, you say now?
Aaron, yes. That's how I go
well.
by now.
Well, it's lovely to see you. And what a surprise. I did not think I would see one of the magpies here.
Yes, it's been a while. Sorry, and obviously lots of things have changed since then. I need your help. And that's a really good place for us to take a break.
Ooh.
Cool.
Cool. We need a 5-10 minute break to grab some drinks
And feed the
cats.
Oh.
Who slept through his afternoon, which is why he's so shouty today.
Oh, look at the baby.
We'll be back at 5:00. Thank you very much for bearing with us as we go through shopping sode.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Number 2.
Number 2, but it's all fun, all good, and lots of weird, wonderful.
Yeah. It's Fey shopping.
It's Fey
nuts.
shopping. It's even weird. Cool. We'll be back about 5:00. Please get up and stretch. Also, we have a updated video that Wayne worked on today with more wonderful queer creatives and artists, illustrators, TTRPG people. Just because, as we keep saying, Pride doesn't end. So we'll see you in shortly. Bye. And we are back. Sorry, I was just waiting to make sure it actually went. Yes, we're all fine. Hello, we are back. Thank you for bearing with us whilst we had a quick break. Huge shout out to Dungeon Delves for your raid, to Tambriel,
thanks.
Top Down Tabletop, Jazzbot for the follows, and Jazzbot also for the subscription, and Mates of Fate for the subscription today. Absolutely love you guys. You are amazing.
Champions.
We love having you here. We love doing this. Yes, and of course, as always, huge thank you to Rooney, Nikki, and Michelle for keeping an eye on our chat and keeping things flowing. You wonderful,
And being hilarious.
beautiful human beings. Yeah, so cool. Right, let's delve back into it. So, before the break, our friends derailed my plans for the day by having an amazing shopping episode through the Twilight Market, which was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed coming up with some stuff for you guys to play with and buy. And
Sorry, not sorry.
don't be sorry, it's great. It's half the fun of D&D. We are looking. We're coming back to Aunty Needles. Hot brain. Aunty Needles' house to be greeted by a strange woman who Rock seems to know, or takes a minute for him to recognise her, but he does come round to it, introducing herself as Aaron, saying that she used to be called Avar, Bricksmith. She smiles and kind of wonders, she goes, I need your help. Can I tell you, and Aunty Needles nods, goes, tell your story, child. Make sure you remember as much as you can and give them the full details. It's important. You are safe here. And she kind of nods and goes, right, well, after Rock and Julie saved us from the Embers about 7 months ago now, maybe 8, we decided to disband our cell. Julie thought it'd be safer for us to move on and do other things. I have been out here keeping an eye on anything that might be untoward for Aunty Needles as a member of the Magpies. She kind of starts to say, catch you up. Magpies, we're kind of thieves and rogues, but we kind of do it with a purpose of trying to make sure that we undercut corruption. So we're thieves, but not bad, I guess. Anyway.
I mean, my colleagues here have met Julie, and I think of them as scoundrels more than anything else, really.
Who, us?
No. The Magpies and Julie, they
right.
tend to
we kind of are.
They tend to try and help people more than sort of harm people. They just don't necessarily always follow the rules and the law.
Yeah, Julie always puts it, rob from the arseholes, give to the needy.
She does have such a beautiful way with words.
She continues, she goes, well, whilst I was out here, I was keeping an eye, and then obviously things got a bit sticky with the Sidoric and the miners. Although they're not in the town at the moment, they're getting really restless, so I thought I would go over and find out what's going on. And I did. And I found out more about what was going on, or if not, how to find out more about what was going on. Only I wasn't careful on the way back, and I lost some of my memories to somebody that I shouldn't have. And now I need help getting them back so that we can figure out what's going on. Because I'm.
So you found out what's going on?
A little bit about it, yeah. I remember that much. I remember that I definitely was coming back with a purpose, that I had discovered someone who could help us, if not what was going on. And I was coming back to tell you, and I had the wrong conversation with the wrong person, and now I need your help. And Aunty Needles kind of goes, it's a little bit of a sticky one, and unfortunately, I can't actively get involved. Neither can Mallory. If young Aaron's memories have been stolen from her, it would have been under the pretext of one of the arranged rules the Fae have with the material world. The individual in question who has it, we think, is Granny Driftwood.
Do I know that name?
Make me a history check.
Okay. My history is shit. That's a
Can I look in
4.
my encyclopedia?
You can thumb through your encyclopedia if you want to. You can make a history check with advantage.
Nice.
Why should you do that? What did you get? 4. Okay. You're like, not a name I've heard before.
Ah.
26.
26. Really good appendices in this. Like, really, really easy to find things.
Basically, magic control F is what you've just found.
You open up a section on notable hags.
Oh boy.
And yes, there are several names in there, and Granny Driftwood is listed. Although there's not a huge amount of direct information about Granny Driftwood. It says that Granny Driftwood is a well-renowned and very, very feared hag who lives currently in the Klaus-Kern region and is known to follow the rules, but by her own version of their...
Excellent.
Is there a picture of her?
No.
No.
It is. You do notice a lot, and it's kind of as you're thumbing through. You notice that a lot of the Unseelie, there's not the Shadow Fae or the Fae of Winter or anything like that. There's not images of them, and part of the reason you think that might be is so that people can't accidentally summon or draw their attention.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't want to accidentally summon.
I mean,
I was
that
gonna say that.
I'm just reading a book, and a witch, a hag, is now looking at me and my family. Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you're just thumbing through a book that someone left there. And then it's like,
Accidentally summon Faye.
I mean, who would do that?
Sorry, Michelle. Love you, Michelle.
I'm just
Love
put
you,
it,
Michelle.
this is not deliberately having a go at Agatha or the story that's going on in Divizia at the moment.
It's completely accidentally having a go.
It is associatively.
Because hey, accidents happen, and that's, you know.
Could I
Shit, Michelle's gonna kill us. No!
Oh boy. Could I just check? So if Granny Driftwood has taken Aaron's memories, then if you can't get them back, then how exactly do we get them back from Granny Driftwood?
Well, it just so happens that I know Granny Driftwood needs a favour.
Okay.
One of her progeny has done something stupid, and she needs helping out of it. And if you can help the her granny, and you can get her to agree to your terms, she will help you in return. You know, you scratch her back, she'll scratch yours.
Right.
No, I'm not touching her.
No,
This
they've
is
got
that
claws.
part in the video game where you go to do a thing, and then they're like, yeah, I can help you with this. You got to go do this thing for this person. And then they're like, yeah, I need you to fetch me like 10 logs from the
You literally just described Final Fantasy.
Yep. No spoilers for the
No, I
log
didn't
level,
mention
Jesus.
crystals, so it can't be Final Fantasy.
Or tea. Anyway, right. So, is there anything else you could tell us about Granny Driftwood? Because I'm already gathering
Where
that
do we find her?
Yeah,
That's the easy bit. She lives in the shadow of the Enclave, and is not too far from here in order to find your way into that area.
But Ashling's brain straight away was like, but the sun, but it moves. But where's the shadow moves? But what?
And Rock's brain has just literally discovered this morning that distance and time is weird here, and now you're telling me it's not far. I believe nothing!
And what I can tell you about her is that she is equal in power to myself. You might even say she is my opposite.
Oh.
She is not to be taken lightly. You are to treat her with respect for your own safety and not to let your guard down around her.
Okay.
She is not... I think there's always a misinterpretation with mortals. She's not evil. She serves herself.
Right.
To be fair, that sums up a number of people that I know, so yes, fair enough.
So be wary. I cannot come with you.
Why?
I and she have an oath and an agreement not to interfere in each other's domains.
Oh, you beefing? Okay.
No, it's to prevent any possible beefing, as you so eloquently put it, my dear. Any threat of movement from one or the other could result in the fragile peace between those who consider themselves of the light and those who consider themselves of the shadow falling apart.
Just so I can just check, I'm just going to turn to Aaron, and just Rock's going to say to Aaron, just check, so this information, so the memories that you've sort of lost that have been taken.
Yes.
So you're sure you need them back?
I think it's quite important.
Fine.
Sorry.
I mean, do we have to go now?
Every time you meet me, I'm in trouble. I know.
Oh, don't be silly. Last time you saved my life a number of times in that skirmish that we had, so don't be ridiculous. I'm not terribly fond of going somewhere to meet someone who's a shadow fey hag that's of equal power to the wonderful Aunty Needles here.
There is something we can do about that. Were you listening, dear? Yes, I think I was. And out from behind one of the curtains, Mallory kind of drifts in. Oh, you're still here. That's delightful. Hello.
I
Hi.
love her so much. By the way, in my brain, she is, for Steven Universe viewers, she's Blue Diamond.
Totally, that's exactly what I saw in my head.
Yep,
oh
yep,
my
yep,
god,
yep, yep.
that is so. That's hilarious.
Hive mind.
She's
yeah,
like a
I totally agree.
wooden brown version of Blue Diamond. Yeah.
Totally.
We love a giant woman.
Oh god, yeah.
We love a giant, deeply intimidating woman.
Yeah. And she kind of brings up, what would you like, darling? And she kind of leans down and almost to your level so she can get much closer to Aunty Needles. And Needles kind of falls down. These three charming individuals have agreed to act on this poor child's behalf and talk to Driftwood Morrigu. Oh, have they now? Well, they're very brave. Wouldn't go in there on your own, though. Right. Line up, please. All three of you. Height order.
Rock's first in line.
Height order, please. Yes, yeah, you there, and then you there. And she lines you up, and I think it's Rock, Aisling, Eugene, if I remember correctly.
Yeah? Is that right?
yeah.
Eugene's quite tall, though.
Only with the hat on.
I get the horns count as height.
Oh, that's
for
true.
me.
You've got the horns. Yeah.
Now, close your eyes. Close them. Rock, close them. I see you peeking. And you feel gentle lips brush the scales of your cheek, each of you in turn.
Oh, I blush instantly.
Much smaller. And as you kind of open up, she seems to be standing back up again. You're not entirely certain, but you feel like she's getting back to her normal size at the same time. And as you kind of glance at each other, you notice that each of you has like this sort of silvery haze of a slight kiss that's vanishing slowly. You are marked as part of our court for a little while. So therefore, the rules of reciprocity mean that she will not harm you before she's had a good conversation with you and you've been able to put your case, and you can return to us after that.
All right, so she won't kill us straight
Or,
away.
right. Well, I mean, I suppose that's good.
At least we get to talk to her first.
You do.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, Lady Mallory, you wrote this book.
Oh, that old thing, yes. I was bored a couple of centuries ago and I thought I would explain a few things that I had to explain on a daily basis. That's before I married my dear wife here, who now handles those sorts of things.
Is that?
So you're a published author as well. Oh, right.
At the market.
Somewhere between hither and thither, it happened. I was an author for half a century, maybe more. I don't know.
So not
One
long.
has had so many jobs.
Oh my god.
Wait, you've written other books?
Oh yes, they're out in the world somewhere. I'm sure you can find them.
Huh.
Anyway, it didn't hold my attention as much as I wanted it to.
Eugene's main quest marker just switched.
Now, if that would be all...
Do I get an achievement if I collect them all?
Get that achievement!
Dear. Yes, we will have a talk about Mallory's books another time. She drifts off, having almost forgotten what was just going on, and back off to whatever she was doing before. And Needles watch her go, and she's got that sort of slightly goofy grin of somebody who can't help but love how weird and wonderful her spouse is. Right. I'm sorry, you were looking forward to a night's rest, weren't you? But it's probably best to move now, whilst the...
Oh! What? Oh!
So, go to where the shadows are darkest in the shade of the pillar, and you will find what you are looking for. If you get stuck, the Herringon in the area usually know where the gate is. They have a tendency to keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Right.
Good luck. And I hope to see you.
Fuck it up.
Yeah, I hope to
Exactly what every time. That
Every time.
can't
Doesn't
say
matter.
good luck without that playing in my head.
Yep.
She lets you head back outside. Again, the doorway is down at the bottom of the...
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Yes.
bottom of the pillar. The shadow of the sun has kind of shifted, so the shade is not actually too far. It's almost like Needles deliberately placed you close to where you need to be. You can see some of the Herringon who take care of the tower itself around. There is a small grey and white one with tiny little ears. And
None of them are
pink
wearing
nose.
scarves, are they?
You beat me to
Staff
it.
dickhead better not be here.
She's sweeping around. So.
As soon as we come out the door and are somewhere else again, I'm just going to say to Aisling and Eugene, why do I have the feeling that we could lose 6 months stepping through one doorway and another in this place again?
Oh, because you could.
What?
That's
Really?
Probably... I don't know. No. Maybe. No. Maybe. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just stick together. Right, where are we going?
Powerful Fae don't really think of time in the same way that you do, so maybe. Could also go out and come back before you left. That's entirely possible.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Timey-wimey stuff? A colourful scarf?
Timey-wimey, wiggly wobbly.
Uh-oh.
Right, so is everyone prepared to go and meet Granny Driftwood?
I think so.
Really? Because I have no idea what's going on. So we're just going to walk in and offer her a favour? Is that how it goes?
I guess so.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Hopefully, well, who knows? This might go really well. She might be really amicable and like, oh yeah, I've been really needing a favour, and it will go all great, and it'll be fine, and we'll get back here in like 10 minutes.
Did you miss the part where she said she's a hag and of the dark side, and that they have a truce because she's the opposite of good? You missed that part? Just
But she needs us to do something for her, right? So it's not like she's just gonna.
Yeah, like remember, she's not evil. She's
self-interested, yes.
Yeah.
yeah, and a little bit violent, but it's fine.
Of course. What could go wrong? Super. Okay. Shall we make a move?
Yeah. Can we see where the shadowed part is from here, or do we need to ask?
Make me an investigation check or ask a Herringon. It's entirely up to you.
Because it's a direction. Would I be able to be better at it?
Kind of doesn't work that way because it's weird shadow fey magic.
Oh, dang it. All right, so
No.
investigation, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
I got a 6.
I got 9.
Okay.
Save us, Eugene.
16.
16.
Hey.
It does look like there's a patch of shadow that kind of leans over, like where the stables are, where your caravan is right now. It does look like the shadow of the doorway of your caravan looks a little bit darker than everything else around it, but you're not entirely certain if that's just a trick of the way the light is casting, or that it's deeper, or what's going on. But that seems to be the only thing that seems darker.
Okay, I'll point that out to Rock and Aisling. Hey, over there, doesn't it like near our door? Doesn't that seem weird?
But yeah, that small spot, I'd sort of be sort of a grand, big, dark kind of valley of darkness or something.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
They probably don't want anyone just wandering in there all the time, right?
Yeah.
I suppose not.
All right.
When we go closer, is there anything more obvious?
Not necessarily more obvious with that roll, but it doesn't change as you get closer. Like, and as you know, as you kind of walk into the shadow, your eyes adjust, obviously, naturally. So some shadows become lighter by nature. This doesn't. This thing stands a standard sort of pitch.
How far from us are the Herringon?
You can still see them where they are. You're just in the shadow of the tower at the moment. You haven't gone too far.
Can I just yell for one of them?
Boy!
You there?
The one that
Excuse
was
me?
sweeping, she kind of looks up and she kind of boing,
A smile.
and bounces over to where you are, and she just stops with the broom over her shoulder. She goes, "Yes, her ladyship said that we should help you if we can."
Oh, that's very kind of you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb your
No,
chores.
it's okay.
I just
dust
wanted...
can sweep itself for a minute.
Quite possibly. We were instructed to find the darkest part of the shadow. Is that over there what we're looking for?
Hold on, and she just kind of holds out a hand for a second, just puts her hand on the back of your arm. She goes, "Well, I think that's where you need to go. I think it changes for people. It's kind of associative, I suppose. So that kind of makes sense."
Why is everything so vague?
First time in a Fey Enclave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's his first time.
I really am getting a headache. It's just like I could just do with somebody telling me this or that rather
Well,
than...
is it the darkest point that you can see around here?
Well, yes, but it's very small. We thought it was sort of be a...
Oh, sometimes it's very big.
Valley of
Sometimes it's
Doom.
very small. It's only ever as big as you need it to be, though.
That's what
You
she
just-
said. Sorry. I'm sorry. Right. Well,
Charlie has left the game.
right. Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Good. Great.
Did we just like walk into it?
I mean, I would
Honestly-
open the door before you walk into it, otherwise you're going to bang your face.
What
Well,
door?
yeah, that was kind of implied, wasn't it?
Okay,
What,
fair enough.
What door?
I don't know. I mean, the door to your caravan, of course. And she kind of goes back to sweeping. Good luck.
All right, coming in.
Let's do it. Let's
I
open
will
the door.
walk to the door.
Right.
So you open the door to the caravan, and it is very dark in there, like darker than it should be dark, and it kind of feels colder, like that cool sort of early evening feel.
Is this magic dark? Not able to use dark vision. Magic dark.
You can see shapes and things like that.
Okay.
You don't see as well as you would do with normal dark vision, but you can still see enough to walk in and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Are you stepping in?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody joining?
Yeah, I'm staying very close.
Yeah.
behind
Rock is now getting annoyed with all the vagary and stuff. Rock's just like, right, come on then, let's just go.
You step through, and the door closes behind you without even meaning to.
Who did that?
It wasn't me. It closed on its own. Also, can you see where we're going?
A bit.
And you can see outlines and shapes and things like that. I think, call it like the night side of Twilight. That sort of.
Okay. Where colours are hard to work out,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Okay.
So what can we actually see then,
You
shapes
see
wise?
the
Yeah.
inside of your caravan.
Oh, we're in the upside down. Oh, God.
Well, what are we supposed to do? Just stand in our caravan?
Maybe if we open the door again.
Yeah, can anyone
Oh,
open
that's
it? Are we able to
good.
get back out?
You open the door, and it looks like the same town, but everything's darker. Like it really does feel like that point, as you described it, that point where the last pitch of sun is touching the world. So from your perspective, you're like, well, we just lost 3-4 hours, like 2-3 hours in there. How did that happen?
Right.
I think if Rock opens the door and sees that, he's just going to go, yeah, I think we found it. It's just, can we just leave now? I'm going to step out.
As you step out, you notice some other small differences. The Fey that are cleaning and keeping the area clean and tidy and sorted out are not Herringon. They are small frog-like men and women. Bullywog. Most of the looking beyond them into like you can still see the Twilight Market is still going on, but there's less humans and mortals, and there's more Fey, and the Fey look almost more feral, and there's trolls amongst them and ogres and more wild humanoid creatures. Even the tieflings, like who are obviously from half-elf blood and things like that, their horns are sharper and angular. There's a couple of dragonborn, and they look like the sort of dragonborn that growing up Rock would have seen in service for some of the more violent lords and ladies of the Empire.
They'd mess you up.
Everything seems darker and angrier and more dangerous.
Shit. A heavy metal version of where we were.
Yeah, still Fey, still something oddly beautiful about everything that's going on, and chaotic, but it is, yeah, if someone rolled an oil can on fire, at this point none of you would have been surprised by it. What
Right.
is also interesting is, unlike Granny Needles' house, where you get in and come out depending on how Granny Needles would like you, there is a huge gateway, and the tower at the top of the pillar is a large round castle, like a wizard's tower sort of effect, and it's all dark.
What, where Granny Needles' house would be?
Yeah, there's like a wizard's tower on top of the pillar, and there are two very large bugbears in sharp, leafy armor. Again, same colours, like a deeper purple and lilacs and pinks of the Lotus Guard, but these ones look like they would probably punch you first and ask questions later.
They're the Brotus Guard.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry
not
to all the
sorry.
new people.
I'm not.
Right, well, this seems suitably dreary for the converse of where we just came from. So should we head up to that welcoming-looking building?
Well, Aunty Needles, did say that Granny Driftwood was like the opposite of her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where she would normally be. So, yeah.
Eugene, any words of advice from your research?
It wasn't really that much information, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Sounds about par for the course in this place.
Yep.
It would probably have been in the form of a riddle too. Right, let's go and talk to the, I've no doubt, massively charming Granny Driftwood.
Yeah, this can only go really well. Let's go.
And you make your way. The only thing sort of stopping you from climbing the tower are these two bugbears. And as you get close, you hear one of them goes, "It's those mortals, Bick. I see them, Bosh. They seem to be coming towards us, Bick. What would you like to do with them?" "I think we should find out what they want, Bosh. We don't get many mortals this side of the shadow." "As you will then, Bick. You want to ask them or shall I?" "I think you should ask them this time, Bosh. Only reasonable." As you get close, they kind of lazily drop their halberds in front of you.
Can't be arsed.
I'm terribly sorry to interrupt your scintillating conversation.
Apparently he's terribly sorry, Bick. "I can hear that, thank you, Bosh. Should we hear what else he wants to say?"
Are you going to do this with everything that we say?
They share one brain cell, all right? Only one at a time.
"What can we do you for?"
Oh, good, they've stopped the comedy for it. We'd like to go and talk to Granny Driftwood, please.
Yeah.
I think this is a moment of pause. Do you have an appointment?
Yes.
Make a deception check, please.
Sounded like a good noise.
Yeah, that is a 26.
Yo. You can get them into a pyramid scheme with that.
I mean, I believe them. Don't you?
Except I have
Don't
a
you,
soul.
Bosh? I think that they're telling the truth, Bick, to be fair. Who are we announcing?
We get announced?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to see...
You use your name because you're from the Fey.
We're friends of an acquaintance. That's all.
Right, well, friends of an acquaintance. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, don't use names. Sorry, I forgot again.
They usher you up the stairs, and you do have to climb the tower this time.
Rock stands on the first step and kind of waits.
It's an escalator, like.
Why is it? Why we're not going up?
You have to go. Use
Oh my
your
God, we really are in hell.
Furniture, food, and stairs. These are things you should know about, Rock.
Well, normally I do, but apparently furniture now moves. Food is full of weird elemental things, and anyway, stairs seem to work the same way. Right, come on then.
You eventually get to the top. It's a bit more of a climb, and these two don't seem bothered at all. But I think by the top of it,
Because they're Brotus. They've been to the gym.
You guys work out, actually, this is designed to kind of, like, really make you sweat before you get there. This is adding anticipation.
It's
deliberately.
working.
Oh no.
Rock is sweating and is grumpy now and tired, and his feet are killing him.
Oh, no. We need to get Rock a fruit shoot or something quick.
The two bugbears take up position beside a large oak door. One of them, by now, I think you've worked out, is Bosch, leans down and twists a handle and opens it for you. Well, friends of acquaintances, find your way in and, mind your manners.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll have 10 silver on them. I will take that bet.
Didn't like that. Nope. Right, okay.
You find yourself... The inside of this tower is hollow. There are some platforms at different points, and in each of them you can see different Fey, all sort of sitting down, like sharp-teethed pixies and pale-looking fairies and a shadow elf who is just lounging on a chaise longue, and at the top of it, on a platform that seems to sort of hover, is a ornate, what looks like carved bone throne with a large red seat. Sitting in it is a red-skinned woman with hair like fire that dances. She is not as big as Mallory, but she's bigger than any of you. From a distance, you think, Ganassi, maybe? Oh, look. Little mortals, come this way. What do you want? And she languishes, she kind of like waves a hand, and the dais kind of comes down closer. And you can see as she gets closer, her skin is a deep, deep red, but it is marked by look at this sort of leafy pattern across the outer edges, and she's draped in jewelry and finery. This is not what you expect a hag to be at all. But
she sounds so cool, though.
The presence and the magic that's coming off of her do indicate this is a person with power. And she kind of leans and goes, I don't know you three, and points at Eugene, but you have beautiful eyes. What do you want for them?
Do not say anything, Eugene. Don't say.
We were actually here to do you a favour. We heard you needed a favour.
Oh, you did now? And who would have told you that?
Oh, you know how word spreads amongst the Fey.
Needles, then.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, who?
She goes, all right, fine. Out with it. What possible favour could you possibly offer someone such as me?
Well, we kind of Rock.
I believe your spawn is in trouble of some sort, that you needed perhaps someone to help out.
Allies. Yes, absolutely. Are you Are the three of you good at stories?
Point at Rock.
Oh, yeah. He's great at stories.
Are you brave in the face of sheer terror?
Well, I mean, we have killed... I think Rock's just realised what we killed and is sort of stops halfway, realising we can't really point... we've killed many monsters that others were too scared to take on. So, yes.
Yeah.
But are you clever?
Oh, Eugene is most definitely very clever. Very, very clever.
So the Eugene one is clever, and you're good at stories, and you're comic relief?
I'll have you know she's an exceptional cartographer and has an incredibly adept at magic as well. And also knows a lot about the Fae, being a satyr, and yes, and she dances as well. She's very good at that.
Oh, I'm not good at it.
And people, she's good with people. Yes, people like Aisling. So
Yeah.
yes, no, she's certainly not a comic relief.
I mean, I'm probably that as well.
What do you want in return? There is nothing given freely in this realm.
We'd like you to return something. You took something from a friend of ours, some memories.
You're going to have to narrow it down.
Oh, their name is Aaron. Aaron.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was more fun than anything. I could probably see my way to doing that. I think if you help my daughter. So my daughter lost all her stories. She took on a bet with Bovi Bral and Brali and lost because she was arrogant and didn't consider how clever those three are.
Sorry, what was your daughter's name again? You mentioned it briefly.
Yes, Alice.
Alice.
She might become something worthy of my attention sometime, but for now, she is a hatchling, barely in her power, and she keeps desperately trying to prove herself. If you could save her before she's eaten, that would be good.
Sorry, did you say eaten?
Oh yes, she lost her stories, and the fool would not stop. So currently, she's with Bovi, Brali, and Bral.
And they would eat her?
Oh yes.
Would you mind filling us in on who they are? I'm unfamiliar. I'm not from around here, in case you.
Well, they used to be my my court storytellers for a time, but then I got bored of them, and apparently they got upset by this. So when Alice declared that she was a better storyteller, she was challenged by the three of them, and then she.
Oh, the folly of youthful arrogance.
Well, rescue her if you could. Get her stories back and bring her back here, and I shall return your friend's memories.
Bovi, Bral, and Brolly, are they? What exactly are they?
Have you met Etin before?
Have I met Etin before?
Nope. I don't think either of you met Etin.
No, I don't think I have. And who is he?
They're giant kin.
I'm really sorry, folks. I'm gonna have to disappear for like 5 minutes.
No problem.
They're giant kin, you say?
Giant kin, yes. You'll see when you get there.
Where is there?
Yes.
Well, I'll send you there now.
What? Right there?
Right there. It's in my domain. I have the power. But I can't rescue my daughter because she was one fair and square.
Is there anything else you could tell us that may help us to best these three who have so desperately sort of insulted you by taking your daughter?
Not really, no. I'm not in the interest of helping people who should be helping me. You seem capable. You seem cunning. If you have stories and smarts, you should be able to outsmart these three.
Great, thank you.
Right, well, if there's nothing more, I have to get back to my court, and you have to get to my daughter. And she claps her hands twice, and it seems like the whole room goes really dark. And then when it comes up, you find yourself outside the Lost Child Tavern.
Oh. But the upside down version.
But it's darker, yeah.
By the way, if Mallory is blue diamond, this one is white diamond.
Totally. Because you know she's got a temper as well.
Yeah. Yes. Not all hags are as you expect them. Although she did do the typical hag things like, oh, I like your eyes, I'll have those.
Yeah, that's creepy.
You are standing outside the tavern, and it looks slightly different. There's a larger entranceway, and you can see inside is like a pit with rings, all the tables and chairs and things like that. And a barmaid is kind of walking across the pit and things like that, so it's nothing dangerous. And sitting at the back is a grotesque form. It is large and bulbous with 4 arms, and it kind of leans forward into itself with a big gut that kind of just like hangs over the front of its knee, like towards the front of its knees, and 3 heads, like one here, and one in the center, and they're bickering amongst themselves in giant at the moment.
I'm just going to say to Eugene, why do I have the feeling the hideously grotesque creature on that side of the bar that appears to have several heads and limbs is going to be the one we have to talk to?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Do you see who we're here to rescue anywhere?
Do I? Can I have a look around?
You guys can have a perception check, yeah.
That's not bad. Perception. 16.
16? Yeah.
9.
9. You do not, Eugene. You don't see her, but you do see several cages tied into the back of the inn, which again is one of these places that looks like it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside here.
Is there any other people in here? Is it just...
Yeah, there's quite a busy crowd, bustling, is laughing
Okay.
and singing. Presently, there's a minstrel who looks to be
He's playing death metal.
half elf who's telling a story that sounds vaguely familiar, and the events are interestingly about the appearance of the island of Pashkik. Only he's not the best, and after a while he gets a little too close, and the Etin just goes, "Enough!" and grabs him, and "You said you'd sing for your supper. You are not good enough for anything but dog meat," and puts him in one of the cages over his shoulder.
Yo.
Well, I thought I had some rough crowds.
Also, I'm very sorry I had to shoot off a food order that was supposed to arrive much later. Arrived just now, so
okay.
sorry.
They like to surprise you like that.
Yeah.
I think that what are we going to do here? So, the 3 of you are stood by the door, and you are able to walk in and talk directly to anybody in there, or go and declare yourself directly if you want to.
Can I have a look around and just see if there is? I know there's bars, sort of people serving, but is there like a central bar somewhere that looks like there might be someone in the know?
There's a barman in a bar set off into one corner.
I'm just going to sort of nudge Aisling and Eugene and just say, I might just try get a little inside information from the barman.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say get a drink, because that's a very bad idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could murder a glass
No.
of wine now. Oh, no, not here. Oh, God.
Okay, yeah, it's a good idea. Go ask.
So,
What
yes.
should we do?
Oh, well, I mean, you can come with if you wish. I'm not planning on staying long to see if I can find out something about that one that the hag didn't tell us.
Good
That's
plan.
fair. Yeah. All right. We'll be back up.
Are you guys trying to be stealthy about this, or are you just walking in?
No, just walking over to the bar as if we're just, regular punters.
Patrons.
I think we probably stand out.
As soon as you step across the threshold, there's this sort of sniffing sound, and
Oh, no.
one of the heads kind of turns and looks directly at the 3 of you.
Rock immediately looks behind him.
You 3, come here. What do they do? There's something familiar about these 3. You smell it, and the other 2 heads start sniffing. And before you realise it, there's these 2 trolls that kind of appear behind you and start ushering you into the middle of the.
All right, no need to push. Thank you. We're going.
You smell of old magic and dragons and stories that have happened. What do you want here?
It's actually a remarkably perceptive summary, to be honest. I'm very impressed. I mean, I think that really does sum up how I think we would smell.
I think the three of you can make an insight check on yourselves.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay. That would be a 5.
5, no.
10.
10, okay.
16.
16. Eugene and Aisling, the mark that Parshkik gave you is itching,
Oh.
Oh.
as if it is uncomfortable under that gaze.
Is it on the... I can't remember where it was. Is it on the back of our hand?
You were all on the back of your hands, and you actually look down, and it's softly. It's kind of like, because it's usually very muted, but it's actually like you can just about under your fur, you can see like a silvery sheen to it, and I think Eugene, you can see the same against your skin as well.
Oh, Eugene, is yours doing... Ew, what's it doing?
I don't know, but it doesn't feel great.
Rock.
What?
What is it? What's it doing?
What's what doing?
My hand feels weird.
I think he's waiting for you to kind of explain yourselves. The three of them are. These heads are just all three of these giant heads, and these could, like, one bite from a mouth, and this could tear a man in half.
I'm terribly sorry. I wouldn't want to be rude. Allow me to introduce us. My name is Rock, and these are my companions. And you are. I'm afraid we are new here, so perhaps you could.
The middle head
yes.
goes, "I am Bovey," and the one on the right goes, "I am Brawley," and the other one, and the one on the right goes, "I am Brawl."
Brawl and well, it's nice to meet you.
That depends. What do you want?
Well, I was just going to the bar for a drink, to be honest, when your kind gentleman escorted us here.
Summer-smelling creatures like you don't come here for a drink.
But it's a tavern, isn't it?
Not for you. You have purpose here.
Well, I mean, we do have a purpose. We were just going to have a drink before we
Date it.
purpose.
Or I'll eat you where you stand, little dragon.
Probably should tell him, Rock.
Tell him what? Everything?
No, what were you going to ask the barman?
I don't think I should tell him. I was going to ask the barman how to kill him.
Oh.
I feel that won't really help our case.
Bovey chuckles. Brawley scowls at you, and Brawl just looks at you like as if you could.
I was only joking. My friend is a bit of a prankster here, so I was just...
So goofy.
We were just looking for a friend. We wanted to find a friend who we heard was here, and just take her back home.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a chuckle. She sent you from the tower, didn't she?
Sorry, I'm not who.
If you want, and he kind of picks, like, two of the arms pull back and pick up one of the cages, and it stands like a good, like, looming height above all of you, and puts this cage in the middle of the bar where it swings, and you can see like an angry looking red younger version of Driftwood in there. She's kind of got her hands just scowling down at you, and she kind of tries to spit at the hand as it kind of pulls away, but she just doesn't quite manage it. If you want her back, you must do better than she did. And there is a levy, and before you can do anything, a hand wraps itself around Aisling and lifts her up into the cage.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh God! Oh no! That's not. No, don't take her. Don't.
3 stories between the 2 of you. If you beat me, you can have them both back. If not, you will be my supper. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
No!
Okay.
No!
So now Aisling is now going to be terrified of alleys and terrified of taverns. This is not going well.
God! Oh no! Where am I going to get dodgy tattoos now?
Ah, dear. We actually don't have Charlie for the first half of our episode next, so this is a perfect way to kind of write Aisling out for an hour and a half. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Better hope they roll well, or we're doing backup characters.
No! I just made Bulba jump with that.
Guys, we've had a lot of fun exploring both sides of a Fey Enclave and just how weird it can be.
I love it.
We are back next week, and we're not alone next week. Oh no, for next week is the start of Wicked Week.
Yeah!
Our
so
friends,
freaking excited.
Our friends over at Wicked Game have got a 8-day charity extravaganza with art, D&D games, weird, wonderful smash and pass comedy. D&D
I'm so excited for that one.
All sorts of wonderful things, including not 1, not 2, but 4 days worth of D&D. First opening with the absolutely wonderful Lydia doing a one-shot set in a different continent of her homebrew world from Wicked Game. Following on to Thursday, a Greek-themed story being run by Joshi Longlegs of Dice and a Slice fame, with Alicia from Dice and a Slice, myself, and Wayne as the cast, with some surprise guests possibly. We don't know exactly what they've got planned for us. We're making our characters. And then on the Friday evening, starting and going on for a whole 24 hours, our friends at Wicked Game are continuing the Greek Odyssey with a absolutely stonking and brilliantly exciting homebrewed story set.
Those bitches be wildin'.
Yeah, they are absolutely crazy.
24 hours.
So, yeah. 2-3 hours, then 12 hours, then 24 hours. It is so much D&D. We can't wait to be involved with it. We're very excited for them. What else? Dice and a Slice, second episode of the second season is now up. Any of you who were involved or saw the Wicked Slice campaign they did with Wicked Game, really recommend this episode. There's so many wonderful references. It's so much fun, and it's just a good story anyway, so please drop in and give them and just let them know that we sent you, because we like to let them know how much we love them and share their love with you guys. Anything else? Oh yes, Mates of Fate, as we said before at the top of the stream. If you're talking about charity, they are doing a weekly Fandelver stream, raising money for the Trevor Project. It's really, really good. It's on a weird time zone for us, but we do want to recommend them. They are lovely people. They do absolutely brilliant D&D, and they're really good friends of the show. We love them to pieces. So I think that's everything on our friends and our associative peoples. Wayne, would you like to tell us where we can find you on the internet, and if there are any projects you have coming up?
Sure. You can find me on most of the socials as WayneFic01, and you can check out my website at waynefic.com, where I talk about branding and design and other such things. Not massively exciting stuff happening at the moment, but there will be. Currently working on some new projects and some new products, which is quite exciting. But yeah, give me a follow and please say hi. And just a thank you to everybody who joined us today. And for new people who joined us, it means so much to us. We really do appreciate the support more than you realize.
Absolutely do. Really do love having you here, and we love doing this for you guys as well. Theo, could you go next, please?
That's me. I'm Theo. You can find me on the internet at theoblueillustration.com, and there is links to all my social media on there. I don't think I have anything particularly exciting to tell you, except that I will be at Norwich Pride at the end of the month if you are a local person. 30th of July is the 14th Norwich Pride. And the first one we've been able to hold in person for 2 years, so it's going to be a big one. And as part of that, there will be a makers market on Theatre Street. So come see us all because I'll be there.
You come and meet the internet famous Theo Blue in real life. It is true.
Yeah.
Theo hates
They're
that we
so
call,
much more
call them that.
powerful in real life. Y'all ain't ready.
Yeah,
They are pretty amazing in real life. I'm just putting it out there.
Theo hates that we call them the internet famous Theo Blue, so we do it more. Because
True.
it
Yes,
totally
it
is
is.
true. We're gonna make it true. It will be true. We will make it true. Charlie, what about you, my love?
All my stuff is at charlievince.com, which is Charlie spelt without an E. And I have some cool new stuff in my shop at the moment. I have one here. I have copies of the English version of the lovely books that I got to work on with a couple of incredible authors, one of which, Max Appenroth, who is Mr. Gay Germany and the first trans winner of Mr. Gay Germany ever.
That's so cool.
He wrote this along with his colleague Vered Berman, and I had the pleasure of illustrating it, and it's called Transition Means Your Heart Stays the Same. And it's about a parent who transitions from being a mum to a dad, and all from the view of the kid, and it's adorable. I've got a few of these in my shop. They're signed, and 50% of all the sales from that go to national abortion funds because reproductive rights are intersectional.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, right.
I've got cute new little sticker sheets and just generally nice stuff in there. And I still have some hand-painted clothes on pigeonclothing.com as well. Thank you, Wayne. That was very on the ball.
He's good.
Yeah, so that's,
He's so good.
that's all my stuff at the moment. So there's cool bits and bobs, and I think that's about it.
Amazing. Just
Oh yeah, hi mum, love you mum. And
Oh,
thank
hi,
you.
Charlie's
Charlie.
mum.
Hello to
And thank
Charlie's
you
mum.
everybody for watching, and you're all amazing in the chat. And thank you, Chris, for pulling so much cool, mad stuff out of thin air when we started derailing everything.
I mean, he literally pointed at a candy store. Did he not think I was going to run with that?
To be fair, like sometimes it is a case of, okay, so the kids are running places, so if I just point them at something that I've got a half-formed idea for, they'll go for that. It works.
You're so good at it, though. You're so quick and good at it.
I've just been playing with you guys for a while now, so I know what to expect. I love it.
You
It's
know
really
what we'll
fun.
get excited by.
If you enjoy what I do and you want to see what I'm up to and things like that, you can actually pop onto my links page, which is chrismepham.com/links, which has links not only to my Twitter and Instagram where I post my art, and also talk weirdness at the internet in general, but you can also find links to everything related to some other heroes. I noticed that someone said I might not be able to join because of the time zone. Absolutely fine. We completely respect that, which is why we have a YouTube channel, which has our VODs of all our adventures a week.
I mean, you can't really blame Jazzbot for not being on live when it's 3 a.m. in Australia.
Yeah, that is very late. I am so appreciative of you being here, Jazzbot.
Go to
Really
sleep.
is so
Go
cool.
to bed.
Yeah. Absolutely
Thank
love
you.
having you here. It's been so cool. Wicked game. Dice and a Slice. Mace of Fate. We will see you here next week for the challenge of their life. We shall see.
Well, the challenge of Ashling's life.
Yeah, challenge for Ashling's life.
Literally.
Cool. That's fine.
We love you all to pieces. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and spending the time with us. We will see you next week. Keep hydrated. Enjoy the sun sensibly. Try not to melt, and take care of your furries. It's going to be a very hard couple of days for them. Those of you on other time zones, I hope you're having more clement weather than we are at the moment.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. For any other Irish goths out there, solidarity.
We love you. Big love. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.